What's good? Uncle Yahshua 25 Life Testimony TV family. What's good, everybody? Welcome to 25 to Life Testimony TV family. I'm Uncle Yahshua, also known as Uncle Yahshua. How everybody doing today? All right, we got a crazy one tonight. I was gonna make it as just a video, but I'm like, you know what? Since I'm up, my schedule changed around. I might as well do it live, and then we can enjoy this together. It's a crazy one tonight. Shalom, Sister Maya, Yashia, and Zayana, and Zayalaya, Hakyama, Delawashia, and everybody else who will be coming in a little later over on Facebook in New York City, and everybody that will be coming in a little later on the YouTube, on the Uncle Yahshua 25 Life channel. First thing I want to start off, I want to say, may the Most High blessings cover everybody in Florida and stuff where this Hurricane Milton is heading. Make sure everyone prepare, take it seriously. Don't act like it ain't gonna have nothing, it's not gonna do anything. Just prepare for electricity to be cut off. Prepare, just prepare. Woe to those who don't prepare, right? That's what the manuscript says, the Holy Scriptures. So y'all make sure y'all prepare. Shalom, Sister Phyllis Rich is in the building. All right. So and I'm in Florida, so I'm prepared. Like we're gonna fill the bathtubs up with water so we can boil it. I already got my inverter. My car is a generator. So I told y'all before about having hybrid cars so that I can run a straight gas range where I can boil water if all the electricity cut off. I'm just prepared for the worst. We got some canned goods and stuff like that, right? So prepare, guys, because what happened in North Carolina and stuff, and Georgia, like they manufacturing these weather events. These are manufactured. Now they doing weather warfare, so they can take a storm and direct it towards you. All right. So don't just prepare. Now I already know, for those who know, the Most High gonna cover me in spirit and truth, but I'm also prepared. So I want anybody in our family and ministry that's in Florida, if you run into some real serious problems, reach out. Your phone, we should, the phones will still work even if the electricity is down. Text me or call me or something and let me know that you having, what's wrong with you. Shout out to Matthew over on Facebook. Let me know what's wrong, so that the ministry, we can assist you in any way that we can. Anybody that's here. Shalom, Sister Maya. I'm gonna read some of your testimony on the ministry channel. I'm glad that you haven't traveled yet. The Most High been covering your travels when she's moving to Florida with us too. All right, now, climate change agenda, Laria. Exactly. So, all right. So again, anybody that's here in Florida, if you get into some devastation or something, just contact me somehow so the ministry, we can assist you. All right. That's what we're here for. All right. Let's go. So tonight's story is I'm gonna share it with y'all. Like every other week I play a video, but I'm gonna do it since I'm up. I'm gonna do the live and I'm gonna share it with y'all. I'm gonna be with y'all on this story. So let me present, share screen, window, bang, share. This is the thumbnail. Let me see what y'all see. Yep, there it go. This is the thumbnail, right? And the thumbnail said, "This OG tried to chop my head off." This is a true story, all right? That's why we have receipts. I do receipts. Y'all know this channel, for those who've been watching us for a while. I show all the things, right? I don't just talk, right? So I got receipts for everything. And the receipt for this dude trying to chop my head off, well, I'll save it. But anyway, this OG dude had a machete that looked like this on the screen. I found this ain't him. So the OG man is an old timer who did it. He was way bigger than him. He was tall. He was no small man. And he was older than him. This picture on the screen. I got this picture because this man got a big machete. That's how it looked. This dude pulled out a doggone machete and try to chop my head off. He literally tried to chop my head off. I done been through some things, bro. That's why I got the 25 to Life Testimony TV family channel. I'm like, I need to share some of my life story to understand the Most High been covering me through all this stuff. Okay. This man tried to chop my head off my shoulders. Literally. He went for my head with this machete. He didn't try to, cut my arm off or cut me, in the leg. He went to chop my head off, bro. I couldn't believe that this man was trying to chop my head off. Literally. When we shared, I was like, bro, are you trying to chop my head off? What kind of sick? This world is sick. This is some sick stuff. All right. So now we're going to enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy this one with you guys, right? I'm gonna take myself off the screen and I'll be in the chat commenting with you. I'll be here with you. Uncle Yashua, 25 to Life Testimony TV. This OG tried to chop my head off. Here we go. Stop share. Present. Share screen. Bang. Share. Make that full screen. Let me see what y'all see. Okay. I'm going to make that full screen. And then make this smaller so I can see you guys and I can see the chat. I'm going to be with you guys. This dude literally tried to chop my head off. This world is crazy. You got to be careful, guys. They got people in this world and they don't care. Like they don't have the same reverence as you. They'll kill you, man. This world getting darker and darker, man. You got some really dark people, man. This dude really wanted to kill me. All right, so I'm going to take myself off the screen. How do I set that up? Oh, now I'm lost. What did I just do? Okay. So how do I take myself off? Boy, this new thing is just messing me up. No, that's me. I don't want me. I want drop down. Oh, it's a scroll bar. That's what it is. Okay. So if I do, there we go. This one right here. There we go. Now we cooking. Here we go. This OG tried to chop my head off. Let's go. Everybody at home. Make this smaller so I can see the chat as well. And then, let go. This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yashua.
Rolling down 109 in a truck. On my ride, I feel alive, that's what's up. Look to my right and it's a ride rolling up. It's Lucci telling me tonight we in the club. He got the 24 road Escalade. He got the Lamborghini doors like they blades. His hammers ring cause that's how he was raised. His palace mob and tonight we get
Listen, I'm from the ghetto, the slums, the rats, the roaches, the bums, the metal that stuns, the addicts, the cracks, the crumbs, the level where funds gets tragic and lavish is none. With rebels, they runs and rabbits like savages' sons. With did him and Biggie and swiftly he shined the mug. That city a pity with 50 took 9 of them slugs. This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yashua. I found this car. It was in Laurelton, Queens. So I hooked it up. So I go to, I take my girl with me and we go to check out the car. Now I was searching for this car for the longest, but the only one that I found was it was a stick shift, right? It was a 4-speed, right? So I'm like, crap. But now my girl, she don't know how to drive a 4-speed, but it was nobody was selling the cars. Everybody who had it, and I wanted the 2-door hatch because I wanted to I knew what I was going to do. I was going to throw some rims. I wanted to hook it up, right? For my shorty. I knew I was going to drive it sometime too. You know what I mean? I like to switch up, you know what I mean? Come through the hood in the silver one. It's like, ooh, got another one. Like, you know what I mean? So I was always known I was a car dude. So anyway, I take her with me. We go, because if I'm going to buy it, then we got to drive the other car that I'm buying. So I meet the dude. So the car is crispy, though. Crispy. I mean, this thing looked like it's brand new. So I meet the dude and he's like, yeah, I bought this car for my wife and she never drove it. He like, she really don't like driving the stick. So I tried to teach her, but she still didn't like it. So it really just sat in the garage. You know what I mean? So the car is one of those cars that like they never drove. So it was like brand new shiny silver, brand new interior. I was like, this car is like, oh, I loved it, right? So I bought the car. So I tried to train my ex. I tried to train her to drive the stick. She was tearing my clutch up. For those who know about driving a stick, she was tearing my clutch apart. I'm like, dude, you tearing. I'm like, you know what? This car is too pretty. So I was like, you know what? Know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give. All right, let me give some context. So in this story, what I'm doing, I'm just jumping in. So this is back when I tell the stories on the channel of 1992 when I did my time for any crime committed when I was in the streets and I had my own block selling drugs. I did my time for the crimes, right? And this is around that time. So I would have these little cars, right? So I always had a Benz or a BM, like a big car, like a big 500 Mercedes or 7 Series BMW or 5 Series or something like that. But when I'm hustling, I also need what we would call hoopties. We used to call them hoopties back in the days. Now, well, they probably call it something else, but later they started to be called buckets and stuff like that, right? So we used to call them hoopties, right? So let me do this so y'all can see me. So so I always would keep, so my hoopties were really nice, right? Because I was a car dude. I like cars. Like I'm a car dude. I love automobiles, right? So that's one of my passions. So I always had like 4 and 5 cars at a time, right? That I always kept at a time, right? So my hoopties would literally be someone else's real car, meaning, a hoopty is supposed to be a bucket where your window don't roll up, your door don't close, your smoke coming all out your exhaust, where it barely start, where you try to start, like, you be you punch and kick it, and right? Hoopties is where it start raining and your AC don't work, your defroster don't work, and you got your hand trying to wipe the inside because it's all fogged up and you can't see, and your wiper blades is so old and messed up that it don't really clear the water off the windshield. Right? And so you got streaks and you can't see and it's fogged up and you wiping the glass and it's raining. So you got to roll the window down trying to wipe the glass and rain is coming all in on you. Right? And don't be in New York City where it's wintertime and it happens because the water freeze up and it's cold because you got no heat. This a hoopty. I've had hoopties before. I've also in my life. So I know, this real life stuff you talking about. So usually the hoopties or the buckets, what they call them now, these raggedy cars, they are the worst. But they get you to plan. Let me explain something to you. When you are living that life where you need a hoopty, your hoopty is like a brand new Mercedes Benz. People get that twisted. See, when you not at the stage where you need a hoopty, that's when you look at people like, oh my goodness, look at them in that raggedy car. But when you are thankful for that bucket, it gets you to A to B. You ain't walking in the snow and the ice and the rain, and people be at the bus stop coming from the grocery store with kids, and they standing walking all in the rain trying to have an umbrella and waiting. Your hoopty is just a chugging right along, right? You are thankful for that hoopty. It is a blessing. You be like, this is my Lamborghini. That's how you feel. Unc is real. I know what I'm talking about. Your hoopty is your Lamborghini. I don't care that you got a Lamborghini. This is my Lamborghini. All the smoke coming out the tailpipe. Oh, yo, you know the hoopty. Come on, guys. I'm speaking stuff I know what I'm talking about. Guys, you know the hoopty when the smoke come out. It's supposed to go out the tailpipe, but somehow it's broke and it come in the car. You got exhaust smoke coming in the car so you got to keep your windows down. Boy. So anyway, let me give y'all to start the story. So at this time that I'm balling, right, my hoopties were nice cars. But I always need a smaller car because I can't drive my big 500 Mercedes or my 7 Series BMW or my Audis or my whatever it is that's my big cars. I can't be driving that through the hood when I'm going to hustle. I can't be driving that to my block. It's like, that's for when we chilling, when I'm going out with my family. I'm not promoting this life. As Hakyama wrote, this is a testimony TV channel to show the trials and tribulations when I was in sin and error. You know what I mean? To see that now I changed my life around. And now I'm a man of the Most High and I do everything. But this channel is to show you, to warn you and prepare you that these dangers that lie out there for the youth and everything. Keep yourself out of prison, out of jail, do the right thing. And stuff like tonight, there's people out there with machetes that want to chop your head off. And if you don't know, you could be a victim you could be the next contestant on Hell is Wrong, on the Hell is Coming for You. All right. So this time I get these hoopties, but they're really nice. So at this time they had a car called Hyundai. This when Hyundais first came out. This 1992 and stuff. It was a Hyundai, I forgot what it was called, but it was a little hatchback. They were nice. They used to have the thing go ding, ding, ding. They were clean. So I had a blue one, and I was to put little rims on it that stick out and have a system in it, 18s. So my little hoopty, Hyundai Excel. That's it, Larry. I thank you. Hyundai Excel. Oh, those was the little hatchback ones, the two-door ones. Oh, if you hook it up. So I would put 10 on it, have it laced and put some nice little rims on it, got the system in it. So that was my little hoopty. I could ride through the hood so it looked like I'm a normal person, right? So going through the hood, but it don't look crazy where if somebody look at me like I'm in a raggedy hoopty, right? So that was my hoopty. So at the time I had a blue one, and my Pam, my baby mother, she wanted one. She wanted a car. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna get her one of these, right? And so I tried to find it, but back then nobody was selling it because they were reliable. They were good cars. And you couldn't find them for sale in the newspaper. And so I found one in Queens, but it was a stick shift. And Pam didn't know how to drive a stick shift. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy it anyway. And then I'm going to teach her how to drive I think it was a 4-speed. I'm going to teach her how to drive a 4-speed, right? So when I went to buy it, I found it was clean. I mean, it was so clean, like it was a brand new car. It was silver. And I'm like, this car was beautiful. It smelled clean, everything. So now I just gave y'all the update. I needed to bring y'all the update because the story just started. And so the story is going to say I went and bought the car. But then when I bought the car in New York City, you have to have an inspection with your registration and your license plates. So you got to get the car inspected. So in New York City, we would have to go to a car mechanic shop, and the person would take the car in to get an inspection and test the car out and put the thing in the tailpipe, no diddy, put the stick in the tailpipe for your emissions tests and stuff, no diddy, right? And pass the test to get your stickers. You need an inspection sticker, a registration sticker, a front license plate, back license plate. Then you're legit in New York City. At least back then. I don't know what they're doing now. So here it goes. So now that I got y'all up to date, now I can let the story play. Now y'all got the fullness of it. I went to get the car, and the car was insanely clean. All right. I had a blue one, and she was getting the silver one. I was getting that from my baby mama. All right, here we go. Let me go back. How do I do it? Go back and go over. Bang, full screen. Here we go. Switch the tab. And bang, put it back a little bit. Dough, crispy. But it was nobody was selling the cars. Everybody who had it, and I wanted the two-door hatch because I wanted to I knew what I was going through. I was going to throw some rims. I wanted to hook it up, right? For my shorty. I knew I was going to drive it sometime too. You know what I mean? I like to switch up. You know what I mean? Come through the hood in the silver one. It's like, ooh, you got another one. Like, you know what I mean? So I was always known I was a car dude. So anyway, so I take her with me. We go because if I'm gonna buy it, then we gotta drive the other car that I'm buying. So I go, I meet the dude. So the car is crispy, though, crispy. I mean, this thing looked like it's brand new. So I meet the dude, and he's like, "Yeah, I bought this car for my wife, and she never drove it." He like, she really don't like driving the stick. So I tried to teach her, but she still didn't like it. So it really just sat in the garage. You know what I mean? So the car is one of those cars that like they never drove. So it was like brand new shiny silver, brand new interior. I was like, this car is like, oh, I loved it, right? So I bought the car. So I tried to train my ex. I tried to train her to drive the stick. She was tearing my clutch up. For those who know about driving a stick, she was tearing my clutch apart. I'm like, dude, you tearing. I'm like, you know what? This car is too pretty. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you the blue one, and I'm gonna just drive the silver one. And and then I'll over time I'll teach you how to drive the stick. Once you get it, then I can give you the silver one. Cause you're like, I want the silver one because it's so pretty. I understand that too. While she did, I did too. I wanted it, right? So bang, she was like, all right, cool. So I gave her the blue one. So now the silver one is mine, right? So I had it for a minute. Now this is when I got my block and the stories that I'm telling on Parkside. I got my block. I'm owning my own, my drug block. So I go back and forth to Queens, right? From Queens to Long Island over at night. Remember, my block is 12 a.m. to 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, the car was kind of sitting there because I needed to get it inspected. So for people in other states, New York, I'm quite sure they still got. I ain't been home in a while. New York City New York is a state that have car inspections. So you got to get your car inspected. You need an inspection sticker on your windshield. So the cops will make sure you got an update inspection sticker. I don't even know if they still do that, right? So I needed to get the car inspected, right? So I wasn't driving it. So, but I knew it was going to pass inspection. That's the thing. You got to pass inspection, right? So I knew it was going to pass inspection because the car was flawless. I mean, the car was like brand new. So ain't no emissions problems, ain't no problem. So I know only thing I had to do is go down there, let them run the inspection thing, get my sticker, and I'm straight, right? So now I remember I woke up. Now my girl, she worked on Long Island too. But she worked in Levittown about a jail out there. And she in the story when we was little kids, when those crazy racist white people chased us from the jets. So they were coming from Levittown. That was the most racist in East Meadow. So she worked out there. She took care of a white guy. He was like was in a car accident, whatever, like one of the private nurses. So she drove out there. So when she would go to work in the morning, I would watch my little son, right? So at this point, my little baby girl, Star, she had already started like a kindergarten or something. So it would just be me and little Rashawn home. He was a baby. He was probably like 2 years old or something, right? He could walk, but he was a baby, like 2 years old or something. So I would come home from hustling my block at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then she would go to work. I guess she'd leave at 8 o'clock or whatever to go to work. And so in the morning, it was horrible because I'm trying to sleep, but I got to wake up and change his diaper and wake up and feed him and wake up. Yeah, I was a Mr. Mom, right? So me and Lil Ra. So at this time, I'm like, all right, I came home, right? She got everything ready. So I was like, I'm going to stay up. So I washed up and everything. I'm like, I'm going to take the car to go get inspected because I want to start driving the little silver joint. Mike Mill said, you were different for that. Was it the green 98? Was the crazy white walls? Hashtag Mike Mill must know. Shout out Mike Mill. You know us. You know some of the 98 history. You know some of our history, huh? You talk about the nasty 4 and you talk about the green and white cards. Facts. If you just learning it, wait, I got some stories coming, Mike Mill. You're going to love that. And the music and all that, pictures and everything. I got straight stuff coming. So So I'm like, you know what? I'm about to go register the little silver joint because I want to drive the silver joint through the hood. You know what I mean? I want to go put the rims on it, put some crazy joints on it, put the bump in it and all that. You know what I mean? Because it's just sitting out there, fishbowl. I ain't even got no tints on. It's just look out there looking pretty, right? So I'm like, all right. So she goes to work, right? So I get, you know what I mean, a little raw already. I get washed up. So now I'm right on Farmers and 119th. For any of my people from Queens, from Jamaica, Queens, from this part, you know, the south side Jamaica, Queens, basically, south, what's this kind of southeast, yeah, probably southwest, westist or eastern, whatever. Farmers Boulevard, y'all know what I'm talking about. Farmers in the house, right? Farmers in Linden, Farmers in Baisley. All right, that's your marker for those from Queens who know about Queens, Jamaica, Queens. So anyway, so I'm on Farmers in Baisley, right? So when I walk out, I go up the street to the right towards Baisley, right? And in Linden, and right there on Baisley, there's car shops. Right there on Farmers and Baisley, there's car shops, right? Right before you get to Linden. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take it to this big car shop on the corner. I think it's on the corner of Baisley and Farmers, right? But on the left side, anyway. So I go up, right? I go up there. I got my little man. I got a little Ra. You know what I mean? I got him all dressed up and everything. So we go. I'm taking, you know, this new joint. So I pull into the shop, and it's this old man in the shop. You know, he owned the shop, right? It's a big shop, a big 5 bays and everything, right? So he come up. So he and this story is kind of funny because I learned another lesson in this story. I learned that thing, y'all guys. Mike said he Hempstead all day. Hollywood section 510 fame facts. All right, that's why I'm like, you know some history. All right, that's what's up. Hollywood facts. Hollywood store. That's where Prodigy used to live at, guys. That's where Prodigy and Havoc from Mobb Deep got their start at 510 Studios. They didn't start in Queensbridge. Their deal was Paul. I got a story about Paul who produced their first before they got their second record deal. Their first record deal when they had the little stickers with the little hammer thing on it and all that. I got some stories coming beginning of Prodigy, but he from over there where Mike Mill from. Hollywood store and 510 Studios, legendary. That's where Busta Rhymes too and Public Enemy, all of them got their start there, and Mobb Deep too. All right, so anyway, those stories to come. So I learned in this story, I learned this thing about, some of y'all heard this story, this saying about that old man strength, right? Y'all heard of that old man strength? That old man strength thing is a fact. I learned that. I learned a lot in this story right here. I learned a lot of life lessons in this story right here. That's a fact. Hold on. That is a fact. That old man, shout out to my cousin from the Bronx, Ronald Forbish in the building. Shout out to my cousin Ronnie from the Bronx. Yo, old men strength, guys. That's a whole thing. Now listen clear to you young whippersnappers, to you youngsters, to you. There's a thing that's called old man strength. It is for real. I'm talking about when they get over like 60 years old or something. I don't know. It's some strength that they get. You know, hold on. Let me come on the screen. I'm relaxing with my feet up. You know, when they got that thing where they hold on like, yo, old man strength will grab onto you and you can't get it off you. Like, it's like a grip of death. You need pliers to get them off you. They will hold on. They be like, listen, you young whippersnapper. You can't get them off you, bro. I've seen the old man strength. You think you can body slam them or something? You be like, where is this strength coming from? It's like they like made out of steel. And it's like, I think the Most High gave these people, this old man strength. It's a whole fact. All right. I've never heard about it growing up all my life. But when I first witnessed it, it was like, yo, bro, this man is strong. I can't even move this dude. And I'm all young in my 20s and all thinking, yeah, old man strength is a whole thing. Don't get caught out there, youngsters. Mess around. Y'all better be very careful mess with these old men. I'm telling y'all right now, you get yourself locked in. They've been and locked you up in a full Nelson. Been to put you to sleep. You've been got put to sleep by a 60-year-old man. You be embarrassed too. Facts. All right. Let me come back. All right. I just want to shout out that old man strip ain't no joke. All right, here we go. Let's continue with the story. So I hope I can find this picture. I'm gonna try to find it when I tell this, when I end the story. If not, when I come back next week, for the next week's story, I'll show y'all the picture if I can't find it now, because I got it. I just gotta find where it's at on my computer. I want y'all to see the receipt of this story, what happened. So anyway, I pull in. So, they got it's kind of empty because it's early in the morning, right? Remember I said I got home at 6. As soon as she left, I wanted to be nobody in the shop. I wanted to get it in, get my car inspection, get it done, and get back home so I can go to bed, because I've been hustling all night on my block. So I'm there early. So bang, he had one car in there first. So he's like, he came up like, what you need? So I'm like, yeah, I'll just come to get an inspection, a quick inspection. I said, quick, because this car I don't need nothing. It's going to pass, right? This car is flawless. So I'm like, I'm just coming to get a quick inspection. He said, all right. I'm like, how much you charging? So he I think it was like $30 for the inspection. Now it's probably $200. But this man, remember guys, it's like 92 or something, right? So I think it's something like $30, something like that, right? So I'm like, how much you charging? Because some people, I asked it because some people, a lot of mechanics are crooks, right? A lot of mechanics are shady, right? That's why women got to be careful when they take their car. Always try to find you a guy in your family or somebody that can go with you or that you trust that can take it, because they're going to screw y'all. No matter, they're going to know y'all don't know about cars. So mechanics are shady as all outdoors, right? They'll try to rob you no matter what. So I'm like, how much you charging? Because I know some people are charging 50, some people charging 100, some people charge you 150 when it's only the real spots are like, give me $30, especially if it's nothing, you know what I mean? So he was like, I think he said 50, right? And I was like, you know what? That's too much because I know I can get it for 30, but I was like, whatever, let me just get it done. You know what I mean? I need to go back and get the bag, right? So he said 50. So I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? So then when he said 50, he saw my face, right? So when he saw my face, he like, what, $50? You complaining about $50? You ain't got $50? So I'm like, heck, dude, you know what I mean? All right, you a little extra, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, I got $50. I'm like, I don't mean I want to pay $50. He's like, well, it's cost $50. If you ain't got $50, then go find somewhere else. So I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? I'm like, you know what? So I'm thinking like, just get it done. Because it's going to take 5 minutes, literally. Because once he put it on the system, stick the thing up the tailpipe and all that stuff, right? It's going to be quick because it's going to pass. It ain't nothing. So I'm like, you know what? Just whatever. You know what I mean? I got a lot of money, right? I own my block. So I'm not a millionaire now, but I got a lot of money. You know what I mean? I got that. I'm getting that bag from my block. So I'm like, whatever. Just. So what I'm pointing out is, that I got money, but he's trying to rob me, $50 for this inspection. So these mechanics are really shady. They'll, so I'm like, bro, this inspection back then, it was only supposed to cost like $25, like $30, right? He's like, $50. And I'm like, he's all mean with it, right? Right? You know how people just be mad, rude? I'm like, bro, okay, you mad extra, first of all. He like, $50. And when he said it, he saw my face, like, because I knew he was trying to get over. I'm like, bro, the inspection only supposed to be $25, bro. Why are you trying to, and I'm here with my little man. I got little Rob, baby, and I'm like, and he's a black man, right? He's like 6 foot. He's like 6 foot, probably 2, right? My complexion, got grays, tall, but I could tell he's from the Caribbean, right? He's from the Caribbean, maybe Jamaican or Trinidadian or something, right? He's Caribbean, right? You could tell from the accent and all that, right? And he owned this shop on Farmers and Baisley in Queens, Jamaica, Queens, right? And it's right on the corner of Farmers and Baisley, by the liquor store and all that, right? So, right, so a nice big shop too, a bay. You could tell he probably had it there for 30, 40 years. He an old timer, right? So he say $50, and I'm like, man, I'm like $50. I'm like, you trying to get over, right? But I'm tired because I've been hustling all night. I've been hustling since 12 a.m. It's now 8 o'clock in the morning. I came home. Pam went to work. I did my routine. She make my peanut butter jellies. We watch a movie or something, and then she go to work. And now I got to stay awake because I need to get this car inspected. So I get up and I get little Rod ready, and we go down the street. So I'm like, he telling me $50, and that's why I said I got money, I could pay it. But just because you got money, guys, don't mean it's so you feel okay with somebody trying to take advantage of you. Okay, so I'm like, yeah, how can I say? I was just telling Kayana about that. People mess up, overcharge me, or try to get over on stuff, and then want to give the passive aggressive broke treatment. He said, I just had a dentist hit me with well, once you get a better job, that statement, right? Yeah, I don't play all that. That's why I gave the statement. I said, I got money, I had money, but that don't mean because I got money, I want you to steal from me or you to rob. Nah, bro. First of all, I'm risking my life for this money. I could go to jail anytime, stick up kids, kill me, or people. No, I'm not promoting that life, but that's what I was living. So anyway, so when he said it, he saw my face, $50. My face must have said, dude. And then he was like, oh, what? You ain't got $50? He was mad, mean, and aggressive, right? He's like, well, go somewhere else. You ain't got $50. I'm like, bro. First of all, I was like, bro. Bring it down 10 notches, inside. I'm like, bro, why are you so aggressive? Guys, sometime there's a generation gap where sometimes older people don't like the younger people, right? They don't like, because every young generation changes the culture from the generation before. So you could get a thing where they look down on you, right? They'll be racist against their own. This is a thing, right? I know it's a thing in the so-called Black community, right? So I'm giving you advice to know you got to discern when this old person really don't like you and they like got a bias against your whole generation, even when you are not part of whatever the young generation doing. Because even though I was in my sin selling drugs, on the inside, I was the type that would help an old person. I was the type that would help the poor, the meek. I would give, like I did with my sin and my bad, dirty money. I tried to do good things with it. Not saying I ain't justifying it. It's just who I really was. So I didn't fit the criteria for someone to be hating on me like that because I wasn't a bad person. I would help you. I would be the one that would come to help you, right? But I'm used to people just for me being Black too. So we get racism. We only didn't get racism from the so-called white people and so-called Hispanic. We got racism from so-called Black people too. Those who came from the streets and stuff. We got racists from the older whites, the uppity, the bougie Blacks. I mean, the older Blacks, the uppity, the bougie Blacks, the church Blacks, the religious Blacks. Everybody looked down on us like we a piece of crap. That's why I ain't have no respect for that. That's why I'm like, whatever, right? You gonna respect me or whatever. I didn't play that because I don't like when people look down on you without knowing your character, judging a book by its cover and stuff, right? So I'm used to it. It just kind of hurt more when it comes from your own, right? The scripture says the enemy will come from those of your own household, your own kind. So it hurts more when it's the older Blacks looking down on us and being prejudiced. Like that hurt even worse, right? So, but I knew that's what was happening, right? The way he toned, because it was and remember, I pull up in this little car. I ain't pulling up in my 500 Mercedes where he like, oh, this is a drug dealer. I got on regular clothes. I got this little Honda Excel. It's clean, no tint, and I got my little baby in my arm with the baby bag. So there's no reason for him to be treating me racially, like prejudiciously, against me. Other than he just, it could be No disrespect, but it could be a Caribbean thing against American blacks, because that's a whole nother thing, especially back then. That was a whole nother thing. Other people from other countries did not like so-called black Americans. They really looked down on us. Just no disrespect, but that was the truth. So anyway, he said $50, right? $50, right? And so I'm like, okay. Now in my head, I was like, okay, I had a decision to make. Do I just ignore his prejudice and just pay the $50 so I can get it over with? Because I need to go to bed, right? I'm tired. I've been hustling all night. I need to get this inspection done, drive up to my house, get Rashawn, get him undressed. I'm probably gonna have to change his diaper again, give him his bottle, lay him down with me, put on some cartoons or something so he can watch, and I lay down and try to go to sleep until his mother come. I'm Mr. Mom. Like me and his mama, that's what you do when you're raising a child, right? So I'm like, you know what? I need to go ahead and just get this inspection. Forget his attitude. I'm gonna give him his little $50. I know he's trying to rob me, but whatever. I need to go home. I need to go get in the bed. Right? So that was my state. So I just wanted to explain that so that y'all can have the fullness of what was going on. All right, here we go. Pay the $50. Ignore his attitude. So I'm like, all right, up $50, right? So he's like, all right. So he goes back, he's taking care of the person, and the person is old. So for anybody in any ghetto and any hood, the old timers, right? The old timers, how they talk. Hey, yo, they talking and everything. These old timers. He probably like about, let me see. He probably like about 60 years old. 65. The old timer. Pop, or somebody's grandfather or something, right? 65 years old or something. But he's kind of tall. He's like 65. He's probably, he's probably 6'2". And at that point, I'm probably 5'11" or 6 foot. Because I don't know, I still stretched out another inch somewhere later. I don't know how I got 6'1". I'm like, I used to be 6 foot forever. I'm like, how in the world I get 6'1"? I don't know how that happened. But anyway, so at that point, I'm probably 6 foot, or maybe 5'12", 5'11", something like that. So he like 6'2", 6'3", something like that. He's taller, he's tall, and a strong man, stocky man. He's not not an old fragile man. And I could tell he's probably from the islands originally, like probably from Trinidad or Barbados or something like that, right? I could just tell. He still had a little bit of the accent, but probably been in New York for 40 years or whatever. So, all right, so he's, he talking to the other man, they doing all that, whatever. So I'm sitting there. So I got Little Rod, right? So I take Little Rod out the car because we waiting for a while for them to finish. So I take Little Rod out the car so he could walk around and stuff. So they got a little deli right next door, right there on Farmers and Baisley. So I go take him in the store, get him some little chips and everything. So we there, whatever. So, Little Rod finished, right? So then he like, the guy he let the bay down for the guy's car come down on the the lift, right? For the lift the car. So he let the lift down and he pulled the car out. So he's like, all right, you want that inspection? Come on, pull in here. Come on now, come on. I ain't wasting my time. He one of those, right? He one of those characters, right? Like, oh, come on, I waste my time. Right? And ain't nobody in the shop, right? I mean, he got 5 days. I'm the only one tomorrow wasting his time, right? Yeah, come on, pull a car in, waste my time. He remind me of the dude from Martin. Now, don't you know no good? Y'all remember that dude? The mechanic dude from Martin, don't you know no good? He remind me of that dude, but that's funny. But he was like, he don't look like him or nothing, but he's one of those old timers, right? So he like, so I'm like, this dude is annoying. I'm like, this dude is annoying. So I take Lil Ra, I put him in the car because we left the car right outside the other bay. I put him in the passenger seat. I get in, I back the car out. Now that's a little a little stick. So I back a little stick out, bang, bang, bang. So I pull it in. I love this little car, right, guys? I'm in love with this little car, right? So I pull it in. Hey, I know about that, don't you know? No, good. That was one of my favorite characters on mine. I loved all the characters on mine. It's a trip. He was a trip back then. So I pulled the thing up in the thing, and I'm happy. I'm giving y'all my emotion because I love this little car. It's so clean. I can't wait to hook it up, right? So I pull the car up on the thing, pull it, how he guide you in, guide you in, whatever he guide me in. The car's in there, it's on the thing. So so I get it, it's all situated, set up, right? So then he like, all right, that's it, stop, whatever, he stopped it. So then I go and I get little Rod out, right? Get him out the car, and then I take his little baby bag. For all those men who raise their babies, y'all know what I'm talking about. I got his baby bag, I got his diaper, I got his milk, his bottle, I got everything in the baby bag, right? The wipes, all that. So I grab out his baby bag. Yeah, I was Mr. Mom, facts, a real man. So I grab out his baby bag, and then I take him out so that we're gonna wait out while he do the car. So I take him out or whatever. So me and Rod, we standing out there. So he takes the car. He does everything. So I say to him, I'm like, yeah, this should be quick because this car is flawless. Like, this should be quick. He like, yeah. So I'm like, all right. So he pulls it up in the air. He starts running the stuff. He's doing all the thing. So I'm like, all right. So, I'm entertaining a little Rod. We out there, and then when he brings the car back down, he like to stick the thing in the tail and do all this other stuff. So he's like, oh yeah. I don't know. This might cost you a little more. So I'm like, cost you a mil? Like, I'm like, nah. This car is flawless. Like, oh, I don't know. Might cost you a little more. So I'm like, oh man. So, I'm like, here come the BS, right? So I'm like, all right, you know what? She's tripping, right? So he goes, got the engine up and everything. So then he finishes, right? So the car's down. So it's a bunch of bays. So I'm standing in the, because little Ra was walking around, he wanted to walk around, taking his little steps. So I'm in the next bay over. So I'm in the next bay, went over outside of it. So we doing stuff like this. So I'm inside. So then he comes and he walks over and he like, I got bad news. I'm like, bad news? He like, yeah, I know you thought this was going to be $30. He said, unfortunately, no, $50. He said, unfortunately, you need to add another $100 to that. So I'm like, another $100 for what? Yep, $150. That's how much it's gonna cost. $150. I'm like, excuse me, like what? It didn't fail anything. Oh, that's what your mouth said. That ain't what my machine say. My machine said, I said, this car is brand new, sir. Like this car, I know cars. Like guys, I could build it. I mean, I put in engines back when we was the 98 posse, what Mike Neal is talking about. Back then, way back then, it was cool. We used to put a work on our own cars. It was just cool to do in the project parking lot. I put engine in my car. We put a flywheel. We put a transmission. I'm talking about buying the hoist and everything. I know how to make, I do my own tune-ups. Like I know a car, right? Because it was cool for us back in the days, in the 80s. It was cool to learn how to do it. You feel me? So I knew it so I'm like, dude, there ain't nothing wrong with this car. This car is flawless, right? So he doing the old man Martin mechanic or shady mechanic, but it ain't funny, right? So he like, oh, no. It's going to cost you $150. $150 what it costs, $150. I'm like, listen, man. I'm like, listen, dude. I said, excuse me, sir. I said, I would just like to get my inspection, right? I just want to get my inspection so I could go home. I could take my little man home, right? And I need to go to bed. I work at night, right? I'm like, I work overnight. Like, he like, well, you want to go home? It'll cost you $150, right? You cough up $150. I give you an inspection sticker and you go home. I said, so can you show me I said, show me in the diagnostic printout where it failed, something that failed for me to pay $150. He said, listen, it costs $150 or what do you say? Or I take out a mechanic's lien on your car and I just keep this pretty girl, this brand new pretty car. I said, if see, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm talking about. I learned to control my emotions later, right? Now I'm thinking about I'm probably being tested by the Most High, but I don't know him yet, right? So I'm not like I'm a hustler. I'm busting that gun, all that, but I'm a good guy. Like I fight bullies. I take care of people. I take care of the little kids. I'm a good guy. My heart was always golden, even though I'm busting out that gun and all that crazy stuff I'm living at that time, but I'm still a good guy. So I don't cross nobody. So when someone crosses me, I lose it because I'm not you. Like I don't mess with people like me from my hood. I'm loved in every neighborhood because I take care of everybody. Everybody love Rashawn, the God. Like they love the God Rashawn. No matter where I go, I'll pass everywhere. I'm the type that pull like yo, Rashawn. I'm like, yo, in every hood. Like I'm loved by everyone because I take care of everyone. If someone hating on me, they just jealous, and that's it. It could be no other reason because I show love to everybody, right? So shout out Fayah in the building. So I'm like, yo, he like $150. What it gonna cost you? And then, when this fool said, if I don't pay the $150, this man is already trying to take my car. That blew my mind. That's what threw me over the edge. He said, if you don't pay the $150, I'll take out a mechanic's lien on your car, and then I'll keep this pretty little car. I'll keep this pretty little car. So I said, what? Nah, guys, I'm being stuck up. You might as well stick a gun in my face, right? You might as well come on my block on Parkside and rob my spot. So I'm like, yo. So I said, yo, dude, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, I just come to get an inspection, my dude. I'm like, this car, really, inspection only costs $30. I'm willing to pay you $50. I just want to get my inspection, man. He said, well, you ain't getting no inspection here unless you cough up $150. And matter of fact, you need to hurry up and cough it up because you're wasting my time. So I'm like, I said, listen, man, I got my little son here. So at this point, I grabbed Rashawn, you know what I mean? And, cause he was walking around, so I grabbed Rashawn. So he's standing next to me. We're inside of the bay. So my car is right here in the next bay. So we're inside of this bay where the lift is and stuff, right? And so he's right here and I'm right here in the lift, like it's a little part, like if you get out the car where the bay is, we on that little sidewalk part before the next bay. So I'm like, listen, man, I just came to get my inspection. Like this car is perfect. Like, dude, I know cars, man. Like, please, dude, it's too early. I'm not trying to don't try to rip me off, my dude. Yeah, rip you off. See, that's what's wrong with you little young, whippersnappers or whatever he said. You little young. So I'm like, oh, I put it together. So I'm like, oh, you one of those old timers who hating on the young dudes. Y'all know y'all got that nowadays. Unc is an old timer. I'm an OG, but I don't hate on the young dudes. You feel me? I'm not like that. I ain't, I'm not one of those. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, you one of those. You probably jealous, of the young dude. I'm like, my thing was, I was like, if you jealous of this my hoopty. If I bought my 500 in here, my big Benz in here, you'd lose your mind. You want to be jealous? I'll go home and get my big boy. Fact, you know what I mean? I'm like, fool, this my hoopty. He jealous over my little hoopty. And you'll really be jealous when I throw the rims on. That's what I'm thinking. Wait till I hook it up. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come back by here and floss on you when I hook it up, right? So, but I knew what it was. I said, oh, he jealous, right? So I'm like, oh, Halakya, shalom. He said he can't wait to rewatch. All right, he gotta go. All right, Halakya, see it on the replay. So I'm like, oh, I see what this is. This is one of them old timers that just hate on the young timers, right? So I'm like, you know what? Whatever, right? So I'm like, listen, man, listen. I said, come on, bro. So now I'm trying to reason with him. I said, come on, man. So I reached down and I picked up my little rod. So I picked up little rod and I got him in my arm like this. I'm holding him. I said, listen, brother. I said, I'm just a young black brother. I got my little baby, right? I said, it's a little baby boy, black baby boy. I just want to get an inspection, man. I said, I come to the black shop and I just try to support our own. Could you please just give me my inspection sticker? And he looked at me and he said, you ain't getting. He said, if you don't give me the $150, you see that little pretty car over there? That's going to be my car. And I kind of lost it. Yeah, I took out the curses, guys. He said, you ain't getting ish. And if you don't give me that money, that car gonna be mine. I said, what? Now that's what I'm saying. I learned later, guys, always control your emotions. I snapped. I got Lil Rod in my arm. I don't even realize Lil Rod in my arm like I do, but I said, what mother? I'm like, F you, man. Who you think you talking to? Now just, you know, Luciano's coming out now. I'm like, I ain't Rashawn no more. I'm Luch. You want to know why they call me Lucky Lucha? They call me Lucha because I like to tuck that tucha, right? So I'm like, I'm Luch, right? So I'm like, who you think you talking to, mother effer? Like, you crazy? I'm like, I shoot this whole mother effer. Like, now I'm losing it. You know what I mean? You know, that's that crazy stuff when you get crazy, right? And now I'm losing focus, right? So he like, yeah, old man, right? So he started doing the old man stuff, right? Like, who you talking to? Who you? I'm tired of you, little young nigga. Right? Yeah, so he said, I'm tired of you, young nigga. I think y'all run around here. So he used the word N-I-G-G, right? I just took the curses out. He said, I'm tired of you little young iggers. You run around here, right? So now you on one. All right. Sell y'all drugs? And I said, oh, this is personal. I said, F you. I'm like, you don't know me. You don't know me because he don't. I'm like, I live here, but I'm from Parkside. So you don't know. I didn't move here for a lot of people to know me. I keep it low key. So I'm like, you don't know me. You don't even know nothing about me. I'm like, dude, I come to get an inspection sticker with my son. And this is how you treat me? You trying to rob me? So he like, yeah, he said, yeah, you're gonna pay. What he say? He said, you're gonna pay for this, you're gonna pay this $150 or you're gonna give me this car. This is my car. So I said, you know what? F you, nigga. I said, I ain't paying for shit. I'm taking my car, right? And I'm like, now I'm on go, right? It's on site now. I'm on go, right? So I'm like, I'm taking my car. Now that's stupid. Now I'm telling you what I learned later. Guys, I got a whole empire to lose. I ain't thinking about nothing. I ain't thinking about my block, my money, my whole empire. I'm saying to him, I'm not paying you nothing. I'm about to take my car out of here and I ain't giving you nothing. Guys, I ain't thinking that's a crime, right? That's a crime. See, that's what I meant by I learned later to control my emotions in the midst of the battle, in the midst of any type of attack. Stay focused, because listen, guys, people lose their whole life, everything from an emotional reaction, right? They do it all the time. Shout out to Yakov, the battle axe warrior in the building. Guys. They do it all the time. They lose everything from reacting emotionally in a situation. You lose your family, you end up going to jail, lose your business, your practice, you have a construction, you can lose everything from one act of an emotional act. Facts, that's a good lesson. In the heat, even when someone does you wrong, control your emotions. Don't react emotionally. You have to think the situation through. I wasn't thinking it through. When I said I had an empire, I had a dark empire of sin, but I did. I had a full function business making thousands and thousands of dollars a week, taking care of my family and other people's families as well. It was darkness, but it was mine. I wasn't thinking because my emotions of this, now I'm losing it. So I'm telling this man, I'm about to take my car out of here, which is actually illegal without paying for it, right? But I'm my emotions are superseding my intelligence right now. So in the moment, don't let no one, I just taught this in the ministry, take you out of your righteousness, take you out of your mind state of thinking the situation through. Okay? Very, very key life lesson. I don't mean to interrupt, but that's what I got to do on this. So we're called as children of the Most High, especially the man, to maintain our composure and our focus. Don't let the emotions, because these dark adversaries, devils and demons and stuff, they come in through your emotions. Emotional man is unstable. So I didn't have that mastered then. Because when after I had plenty of time to regret these decisions that I'm making in this story, right? And I played it back, so I learned. Also, a real wise man learns from the mistakes of others. But another aspect of a wise man is one who learns from his own mistakes too. You're supposed to learn from your mistakes, assess the situation, and grow, and don't repeat it. So the next time you're in a situation, I was always like that. That's why I'm such an astute, wise man right now, because I always learn. So I at that moment, I ain't thinking. I'm boo-boo the fool right now. Only thing I'm thinking is this fool trying to jack me, right? I might as well stick a gun in my face, right? I'm like, he trying to jack me. So now you ain't getting nothing. Y'all know, those who from the streets, y'all know what I'm talking about. Now you ain't getting nothing, right? You know, yeah, I was raw. You ain't getting nothing. I don't care who you are. You ain't getting nothing now. Now you know what I used to call it? Now you got to get it in blood. That's how I used to call it. That was my saying back then. We used to have a song called, "Do you want to taste blood in your mouth? Do you want to taste blood in your mouth? Say why? Do you want to taste blood in your..." Yo, y'all gonna love that song too for the stories that I'm playing. I'm start playing songs to the stories or whatever. That's another time frame. That's when Facts, blood in your mouth was the joint. Wait till I play that. Boom, dun, 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 dun. Jay-Z used that track. We used it before him. And it was, "Do you want to taste blood in your mouth? Do you want to taste blood in your mouth? Say," and L say, "Every time I went up with a hardcore hit, niggas bite the bait because the hook was great. Now, I got the lava from and carry on weight and swing my 9 Glock on my first date. My mom's packed a tray 8 in my book bag. Send me to school like a fool on a half a day." Oh, blood in my, we was raw. That was when I was in my sin. That's the Nasty Form C's. That's LL on this channel at the beginning of these videos. Jamel Henderson, who did 24 years. That was that hook. Blood in your mouth was no joke. So that's why I used to have a saying back then. I used to say, "Get it in blood." Now, that's what that was. So it was like, if you, hold on, am I on the, I don't even know if y'all can hear me or not. I don't even know if y'all can hear me or not. But okay, y'all must have could hear me. So that's why I was like, back then I had a saying, "Get it in blood." Now, what that meant was, now you done violated. I ain't giving you nothing. Now, what you want, get it in blood. That means take it from me. All right? That was the saying. Now, I shouldn't be in this mind state, but that's where I was. All right? So that's why I said the song "Blood in Your Mouth." And we almost got a record deal from that song too. That's why I said that was one with what was that called? Columbia Records. That's why I said the Most High made sure he stopped every record deal. So from that song, we had a record deal and everything. I'll tell that story on this channel. But anyway, yeah. So let's continue. L, the one who did 24 years before he went to jail to do that 24-year bid, we were the Nasty Four. We made that song before he went, "When you taste blood in your mouth." So anyway, so Laria said, "Mama sent me to school on a half a day." Didn't we hate that? You're like, it's a half a day. I cannot stay home. But you know what he said? He said, "My mom's packed a tray 8 in my book bag. Send me to school like a fool on a half a day." Right? Boy, our lyrics was dope, right? But anyway, promoting, that's the life we was living. I'm not promoting that, but that's just our that's what we was on back then. But all right, anyway, let me continue. My saying was, now you got to get it in blood, right? Now you got to just get it in blood. I always say that because I'm a very nice guy, but once you cross the line, now you got to get it in blood. Let go. So now my stupid butt, I'm like, you know what? You ain't getting nothing now. I'm taking my car. Dumb move, because all right, I don't want to ruin the story, but I'm doing a crime. So that was been a stupid move. So he said that pushed him over the edge. He said, what? You doing the old man stuff. What? What? You little whippersnappers. You trying to take what? You ain't taking nothing from me. You think I got something for you. So I'm like, so I took a little ride. And so I'm like, I turned, right? So I turned. Hold on. That's funny to me. Hold on. Y'all know Uncle Stupid. Y'all know I'm stupid. That is so funny to me when the old timers, when they get mad and they lose, they be like, what? What? You little whippersnapper. What? That's so funny. That be making me laugh all the time when they get like that. So that just triggered him. He went crazy. What? He just, that part, I wasn't laughing in the moment, but it makes me laugh now. All right, here we go. And I'm about to, we made that song before he went, when he takes blood in your mouth. So anyway, so my saying was, now you got to get it in blood, right? Now you got to just get it in blood. I always say that because I'm a very nice guy, but once you cross the line, now you got to get it in blood. Let go. So now my stupid butt, I'm like, you know what? You ain't getting nothing now. I'm taking my car. Dumb move, because all right, I don't want to ruin the story, but I'm doing a crime. So that was been a stupid move. So he said that pushed him over the edge. He said, what? You doing the old man stuff. What? You little whippersnappers. You trying to take what? You ain't taking nothing from me. You think I got something for you. So I'm like, so I took a little ride. And so I'm like, I turned, right? So I turned and I'm about to walk into, so right where I'm standing, there's the lifts. So I'm about to step a foot over the little metal thing and then walk over, go to my passenger side, open it, put Lil Ryan in, go to the other side, get in the car and then drive it out there off the bay, drive down off the thing. I'm out, right? So that's what I'm. Okay. So what I'm describing is there's an empty bay where the car lifts up. It's empty. So it's the rails and then my car, because I walked around, my car is on the next one over. So I was going to walk over that metal lift into it and walk over the next one, then open the passenger side, put Rashawn in, strap him in his car seat and get in and drive my car. I'm about to leave, right? So that's what I was doing. All right. Let me come back. Dang. Thinking, I'm tripping. So I start to turn, right? To walk my step off the thing to go down over the metal thing to go across. And when I start to turn, I'm watching him though. You Lou. He doing the crazy old man thing. So then he say, I got something for you. What the steppers? I knew that this day was gonna come. And so I look back, because, of course, my head always on swivel. I'm watching him. So I start to go take a step and I look and I see this man go. And this fool put out a knife. I don't know where he had it. I don't know. I know he from Trinidad. It looked like a sugarcane knife. If y'all know what I'm talking about. That thing was big. So this fool pulls out a knife. And I'm like, so I seen it, like, I don't know where it came from. Maybe he had a holster on his side and had a big shirt covering it. That's probably what he had, because I didn't see nothing. So maybe it was, he had a long, and a long shirt to cover it. So he just, he pulled out a sword. Yo, So that nigga pull out a samurai sword, right? So I seen it. I seen it glisten out of my eye because you know I'm from the streets, so I always head on swivel. So I take the step and I look, and he said, I knew this game something, and that thing said, shh. And I said, whoa. So I turned and I looked, and he had the knife out. So I was like, I said, OG, you know, old timer, because before we used to say OG, I'm like, old timer, you gonna pull a knife on me? You gonna pull a knife on me? He said, that's right. I cut your ass from your head to your toe. I cut you. I've been waiting for this. So I said, old timer, I got my son. The hell wrong with you? He's like, I don't care. That's what it was, a machete, Diana. He like, I don't care. I don't care. I chop his little ass up too. Pardon my language. I said, that really threw me over the top. He said, I chop his little ass up too. I said, what? I said, F you, mother effer. I said, matter of fact, I come back. And when I said that, he took the knife and he said, he swung this. Yo, I swear to y'all guys, this crazy old man took this knife and swung it at my head. He went to chop my head with a damn sword, with a machete. That's exactly what it was, with a machete. So when he went to chop, I seen the blade, so I got a little round my arm. So I'm like, and it's coming. So the only thing I had, guys, the only thing I could do was to grab the blade with my hand. So I grabbed it. Now I got a little raw in this arm. He swung and I grabbed the blade. Bang! It hit my palm. It hit. Bang! So when it hit, it automatically cut in. Like it almost cut my whole palm, my leg. It almost cut my whole hand in half when it hit. So it hit and it banged my hand. So when it banged my hand, I'm conscious that I got a little raw. So I'm still trying to protect him. So it hit, and when it hit, I don't got time for pain. So I know I screamed like, ah, and then I just turned. I turned his wrist with the blade. So when I turned his wrist with the blade, what I deduced was it cut. When I turned, it cut from here. That's where it starts here. Right there. That mark right there. It cut from here. And when I turned, it cut all the way around. It turned and cut all the way. The cut goes all the way to here, all the way around my whole thumb. So it turned, and when it turned, it just cut my whole thumb off. Guys, my thumb was cut off. It cut my, now I'm giving y'all in the moment and hindsight. I'm gonna tell the story though. So I'm giving y'all both. I don't know that my thumb is cut off when this is happening, right? I'm in the moment. So I grabbed it and I turned and it, right? So all I know is I do feel hot blood going down, right? Blood splattered everywhere, but I feel a lot of blood, hot blood going down my arm. That's one thing I felt. Sorry, guys. I mentioned that the opposite. So I said it was the back. When it hit the palm first, when I grabbed it, and when I turned it, it cut all across the palm. It's this hand. Across the palm. Oh, y'all can't really see me. It's this hand. Across the palm and then to the back. You can still see. Well, I can show y'all another time. I was going to show that it hurts right now. Right now as I'm speaking, it hurts. And it'll never stop hurting. It always hurts, especially when it rains and stuff. It feels like pins and needles. Like right now, I feel like a bunch of little needles, like thousands of needles are sticking into my palm. And then the back of this knuckle, it always hurts. So the cut it goes from here all the way around, all the way around. It cut my whole thumb off. All right. So let me come back. Hold on, I gotta switch my view. Hold on. There we go. I didn't feel the cut. I feel none of that. but I feel this hot blood, and I know it's blood, right? And then this blood, I can see blood all it's splattered everywhere, right? So I hit it and I turn. So when I turn, I still got little Rob, and he goes, "Roar!" Right? So he goes, "Roar!" Right? And he pushes. He pushes. So I'm trying to hold him, and then here come that old man strength, right? So I'm like, so he goes, "Oh," and he pushes. I'm like, he's strong. I just remember that. I'm like, this dude is strong. And I remember that's that old man strength. That old man strength is for real. That old boy, you mess with an old timer, y'all better, listen, young dudes, y'all shouldn't be messing with no old timer, period. But if an old timer violates you and you got to protect yourself, you better factor in old man strength. That's a real thing. Facts. Anybody who know what I'm talking about. So he goes, "Whoa!" and he pushes, and he's so strong that he's pushing me back, and I feel myself like I'm gonna fall because he's strong, and he went and pushed forward. So when he pushed forward, I felt myself like take a step back, and I'm like, I'm gonna fall. And I know, guys, that I got little Ra. So as I'm falling now, I feel it like I'm losing my footing. I take little Ra, and he pushes back with all his strength. And I start to go back, right? But I still got the machete in my hand, right? And he's pushing me back. And so I go like this. So I start to fall, and I'm in the air. I'm losing my foot, right? So as I'm going down, I'm falling, and he's on top of me. So I got his body weight. He's coming down. He's pushing off. So as I fall down, on my way down, going backwards, I can't brace myself to fall. I can't do nothing because I have to protect my son. I got to protect Lil Ra. So as I fall in the air, the only thing I'm thinking is I got to lay Ra down gently. So I'm just got to take the fall with this man's body weight on me. And he like 6'3", probably like 200 pounds, regular, right? A big man, he ain't no little man. So I'm falling, and he's on top of me. He's like, "Oh," and I'm falling. And as I go down, I lay little Ra down. I lay him down. And once he's down, my body is almost down. So I'm falling back, and I lay little Ra down. And once he's down, I just try to only thing I can do is squint my face, because there's no trying to protect myself. So once little Ra is down, I just try to brace myself for the fall. So I fell. Boom! And he's on top of me. Guys, when I fell on the metal part of the car lift. We're in the bay. I fell, and Tommy, I gotta say the word. I'm not gonna say the complete word. That's it. Crap! It like boom! Oh my goodness! The pain from the metal all in my back, and then my body is hitting because when you are at a car lift, it's the two rails where they tell you put your wheels on, right? And then it lifts up. So the two rails is here, and the cement is here, and then once you get past where your wheels are going, it drops down. It's the cement down there. So when I fell across the thing, the metal rails, my top back and my head is on the cement, but my butt and stuff and my lower back is still on the metal part, and my feet and he's on top of me. So the pain I felt, I still don't feel that I got this machete in my hand. So we fell, boom, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh, I know. I'm like, So I'm like, and I feel this pain, like my whole back is just, and I'm like, and so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you. And he's just tripping. Like he's like, so I'm just holding him, and he's like, and I'm like, get off me. And I'm looking at little Rod, and he just standing there looking at me. He's not crying or nothing. I'm glad that he's not crying, right? So I'm looking at him. I don't want him to be, traumatized and crying, but he's just standing there looking at me. And I'm like, okay, good. That made me feel better. So I'm like, good. He's not crying. So I look at him, Roger's looking at me like, he probably looking like, what is going on? Right? So he's just looking. So then this man, he's tripping. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. And he's doing all this. So I'm like trying to assess what's going on. Like I'm like got the life knocked out of me, falling on this car metal lift, falling on the car lift, right? So I'm holding him. So he's like, get off me, get off me. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. So I'm trying to hold him. So he's trying to get up. So he's like, get off me. So he tried to get up. So I'm trying not to let him get up because I'm scared that, he's going to, finish with this machete, and try to just stab me or something. So I take my other hand and I grab his hand with the machete. So I got the thing like this and there's blood everywhere. So I take he yelling, get off me, good. So I take the other hand and I grab the machete. So I grab his arm that's holding the machete. So we fighting and everything. He's like, get off me, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, I am not letting this go. Because if I let this go, I'm dead. He already tried to chop me with my son in my hand. I ain't stupid. This fool is gonna kill me, right? So I'm not letting go. And he's fighting, we fighting. I'm fighting for my life. So I'm, when you fighting for your life, you get that strength too. Now I got that Superman life death strength, right? So I ain't letting go. I'm trying to break his arm. I'm trying to get this machete. So he realized he couldn't get it. He got, get off me, get off me, get off me. And he trying to do stuff and he taking his other hand and he's hitting me, but I ain't doing no avail. It don't matter. He can hit me with a doggone sledgehammer. I'm fighting for, because I know he's going to kill me. So I got that life death strength going on. So he hit me and I don't feel nothing. I don't care. He just hit me on the side. I don't care. I'm just trying to twist this. I'm trying to get the machete out his arm, because then I know if I get the machete, I could defend myself, right? And then I could try to pick up little Ra and get out of this hellhole, this hell. I'm in a mechanic shop from hell, right? So I'm Shalom, daughter of Yah Mashiach Yavana. I'm like, yo, I need to get out to the sidewalk to let people know, right? Because my son is here, right? So that's what I'm thinking. I got to get this machete out of his hand so I can get Lil Rod and get out of this bay, right? So he realized he's hitting me. He realized he's not doing that. So he like, get off me, get off me, get off me. He trying to get up. And so then he realized not doing that. So he said, I remember this clear as day. He just stopped. He said, oh yeah? You don't want to get off me? I got something for you. And he just let go. Pardon my language. He just let go and he just got up. So when he got up, he stood up. He said, I got something for your ASS. I just took the curses out. And he's standing over me. He said, that's right. Youngsters, y'all think, whippersnapper, whatever, he's still being like child age racist to me. I guess age racism or something. I don't know what's his problem, right? So he like, I got something for you. I got something for you. So he stand up and look at me. So when he got up, I was like, I was relieved because I finally had a second to like, this all happened like this. So y'all know when you're in the middle, it's all like in seconds this happened. I went from, I just won an inspection to I'm laying there with a machete in my hand by the blade with this man standing over me with my little son standing there looking at me, just staring at me. And I'm like, is this even real? Like, does this really just happen? I swear it's like a dream, but it's not. It's for real. So then he's standing up. So all this is in the moment, all in motions, right? Because remember, when you're in this stuff, it seems like it's all happening in slow motion type of thing. So he stand up. I remember him saying, yeah, you little whatever. He's cursing at me. I got something for you. I got something for you. Point. So as he was saying that, only thing I could do is kind of focus and like, okay, now I'm like, and then I feel my back. So I'm like, ooh. So I'm like I almost can't move, right? I'm like, ooh, like my back is really hurt. So I'm like, ooh. So then That's when I look at my hand and I see the machete and I'm like, and I like, and this is all while he's talking. I'm like, oh, watch, I got something for you. I got something for you. So I look and I'm like, and guys, I look and my hand, my thumb is hanging. It's hanging. It's hanging. He cut my thumb off. Literally, it's hanging. This part right here is hanging down here, right? So I'm like, so I seen it and I'm like, okay, I can't focus on that because if I get freaked out by that, I'm still in the battle, right? So he says, I got something for you. I got something for you. And then he turns around. So as he turns around, I realized, okay, that's when I seen my hand. I'm like, okay, I got to get up, right? So I tried to move and it hurt really bad. So I'm like, oh, and I'm like, okay, I got to get up. I got to get up. So I go to get up and I'm like, oh, so I go to try to stand up and then he turns around. So he comes back. I guess he went into his little office. So he turned around and he came back. He said, yeah, I got something for you now. What you gonna do now? And I turn around and this fool got a gun pointed at me. This old man crazy. This the old, that's what I said. This ain't the don't you know no good from, this a no. This the Martin mechanic from hell. I'm like, hey, turn around and it was a revolver. It looked like a 38 because back then revolvers were very popular. A 38 revolver. I had a couple of 38s. I had a snub nose 38 too. They call it police special. Really small, fit in your hand, right? 38. No, the 32 snub nose is a police special. I had one of those, 32 snub nose. And 32s. We had 38 revolvers and a 32 revolver, 32s. I had both of them. They were popular back then. So I turn around and this fool got a 38 pointed at me. He said, what you gonna do now? I shoot, I'ma blast your ass, I kill your ass. So I look, so I was getting up, right? So as I'm getting up, I look and this fool was pointing a gun in my face. So I said, man, I don't know, God. I was just out of it. I said, man, just shoot me then, right? Cause I'm like, I'm already half dead, my back broken, my thumb cut off. I was coming for a inspection sticker, right? I'm like, you're gonna have to just shoot me then, right? So he's like, don't you move, don't you move. So I start getting up. He said, I'll shoot you, I'll shoot you. I said, I don't care, shoot me, shoot me. I didn't care, I literally didn't care. So I'm getting up. He said, don't move, I'm telling you, don't move. And I'm like, whatever. So I get up. So when I get up, I drop the knife. Like, I don't care, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't care no more. I'm tired of this, right? This is crazy what's happening. So I dropped the machete thing, right? So I dropped the thing, and that's when I realized the full severity of my hand. So I dropped the machete thing, and then when I drop it, I look, and I'm covered with blood. It's everywhere. It's all over my clothes. And I look up like, and there's blood everywhere. It's puddles of it. So I'm like a massacre. So that's when I look, and my hand, okay, when I look, I can see, I'm gonna find the picture. If I don't find it before we end this story, next week, I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna show y'all the picture. So my hand, I can see like this whole part is gone. Like, so all of this is gone. The thumb is hanging here. So I can see the back of my skin, right? So, okay, I can look through my hand and see this part, the back part. There's nothing there. Everything is hanging here. So what I'm saying is what I had to do was all this meat and stuff, and this thumb was here. So I grabbed all of this from here and tucked it in here. Y'all don't even understand. Pain, it comes a point where the pain, either you'll pass out from it or you get numb to it and you got no choice. I had no choice but to just like my receptors to block the pain. I can't be succumbed to the pain, otherwise I'm like, it's just survival instincts. So I grabbed this stuff, right? All this flesh. It's just blood everywhere, meat, and all the insides of my hand, the whole palm, the whole thumb part, this whole part. Because the cut it goes to all the way to right here, right? The cuts from the whole palm and all the way around from the back. So I took all of this and I tucked it in and I closed it like this. That's how I was holding my thumb, and stuff is in here like this. And blood is right. So I did that. And all I'm doing is lay down, I'll shoot you. And his hand's shaking, and I don't care. I'm ignoring his ass. Pardon my language. I'm ignoring him, right? I'm just done with this whole situation, right? So I tuck everything in, and I hold it like this. And he's like, I'm gonna shoot you, lay down. And then he's yelling. So he starts yelling, help, help, help. He's trying to rob me. So he's yelling. So all the people, because we're on Farmers, for those from Queens, we're on Farmers in Baisley, right at the corner. So on the corner of Baisley, it's a car shop. Vivian used to own this Jamaican dude named Vivian. I ended up buying a van from him before. And then it's the other corner, the one that's on Farmers. That corner right there. That car shop, that car ding probably still, I know that man probably ain't alive, but that car shop probably put it. And then it was a liquor store, I think, right next to it, if I'm correct. But I know it was a bodega store right there too. So for those from Queens, from Jamaica, Queens, that part know what I'm talking about. So, and this is like 90s, 92 or 91 or something, 93 or something like that. 92, I was locked. This is like 91. All right. So he started yelling, right? Help, help, help. He's trying to rob me. So all the people from the neighboring stores and all the old timers who be out there playing cards and, sitting out there drinking in the morning, because it's still early. It was like 9 o'clock in the morning now, right? It's like 9:30, 10, because I think it opened at 9 or something. I was there when it first opened. So all the morning, they all started running in because he's yelling, help, help. So the people started running in. So as the people started running in, they look, and when I look, everybody who run in, they run up and they try and like, what's going on? And they stop. And I see everybody's face. I guess they see the bloody massacre going on. So they see him having a gun at me, and there's so much blood everywhere. It's puddles of it, and I'm covered in it, right? So I see everybody stop. And so they stop. So he's like, he's trying to rob me. He said, call the police, call the police, call the police. He's trying to rob the shop. And I'm like, oh, right? So I'm like, oh man, like this is bad. So my instincts, I'm from the street. All I know is the street. One thing we don't play with back in those days is police, okay? When I heard him say, call the police, I'm like, I got to go, right? I'm like, I got to get out of here. The police coming, right? And so I'm like, he said, call the police. He tried to rob the store. Here, you do move, I'm gonna shoot you. So I looked at him. I said, you're gonna have to shoot me, mother effer. And I reached out and I picked up Lil Ra. I picked him up in my arm. He got up in my arm like he wasn't crying or nothing. He got right up in my arm, looked at me like, Daddy, what you gonna do? Type thing. I look at him, I'm like, we out, Lil Ra. I look at him, I'm like, man, F you. And I just turned, right? And he's like, I'ma shoot. I didn't care. I just turned around and I ran out the bay. So when I come out the bay, my house is to the left. If you go to the right, that's Baisley Corner right there. And then the next. Guys, I am literally ignoring all the pain. There's a numbness that's come over where my back is like broken in half. My thumb is cut off. I'll show y'all later at the end where y'all could still see the cut. It's all, and I picked up Little Ra and I run out. The pain, I I just have to go. It's all I think. I have to go. Like the police is coming. It was my instinct from the street is flight. It's fear, flight response. And I gotta go. And little Raj is sitting there like, all right, let's go. And all the people, so when all the people ran in to the shop, when he was saying he's trying to rob me, everybody froze. Let me explain. When they all ran in, sorry, my feet is all up. They looked. When they got to me, they stopped. And I didn't realize until I looked, they saw me, guys. I was covered in blood from like head to toe, like soaked, everything red. So it looked like a scary movie massacre. I could only imagine because they eyes, you know how somebody look at you and their eyes get big and everybody just stopped. And everybody was stuck while he's like, he's robbing the shop. Get him. He's trying to rob the shop. And everybody like, and I don't know what they see until I got home. And I looked in the mirror and I realized what they saw. So the blood, my whole face is covered, my arms is covered, my clothes is covered. And when I picked up little Ra, he had blood, he soaked into the blood that was on me. All right? And because other people started coming, and when they came, they see me with a baby in my arm. He got blood on, I got blood, and everybody just froze. They didn't, like, this thing was crazy. Everybody froze. They like nobody. He's just panicking. Get him. He wants them to help. He wants them to help him lock me up, but nobody's doing anything. Everybody's stuck. They froze. Next little corner is Linden and Farmers for those who are from Queens. So I got to make a left, and I got to go. I live one block. He got up in my arm like he wasn't crying or nothing. He got right up in my arm. Looked at me like, Daddy, what you gonna do? Type thing. I look at him, I'm like, we out, little while. I look at him, I'm like, man, F you. And I just turn, right? And he's like, I'ma shoot. I didn't care. I just turned around and I ran out the bay. So when I come out the bay, my house is to the left. If you go to the right, that's Baisley corner right there. And then the next little corner is Linden and Farmers, for those who are from Queens. So I got to make a left, and I got to go. I live one block, that's 119th Drive, and then 119th Road is when I lived off the next. So I got to go one block. No, correction. It's 119th Drive, 119th Avenue, then 119th Road. So in this story, when I heard it back, I was making a mistake, an error. I turned up 119th Avenue instead, but I'm gonna keep saying Drive, but I'm just correcting it right now. It's a decent sized block, and then I gotta go one more little block, and then my street is right there, and the house I'm renting is right there, a little apartment I'm renting on 119th Road in Farmers, right? So I run out, and so he told me, he's like, I'ma shoot, grab him. So when I took Lil Ra and I took off to run out, everybody was right there. You see some of the people, they look and they just look at me and I guess I'm covered in too much blood, and they see I got a baby with me. You know what I mean? So I know they like, what is going on? Like, this is a crazy situation, right? So when I take off the run, they just move out my way. So I took off. So I'm running. Now I'm holding my insides of my thumb. Blood is just pumping. Doof, doof. Blood is just, as I'm running, blood is everywhere, right? He cut my whole thumb off, guys. So blood is everywhere, right? And it's still pumping out because I'm just holding it like this. So I come out and I run, then I hit Farmers. So I start running up, and it's a little bit of a hill, going up Farmers towards 119 Road. So I start running, and I'm running up 119 Road a little bit. He comes out and he's yelling in the street, somebody stop him. He robbed my shop. So people are coming out their houses, and I'm like, crap. Sorry, I made a little error. I wasn't running up 119 Road. I was running up Farmers, still with the street where his shop was. I misspoke. I'm running up Farmers, and he run out, and nobody would stop me, but he's in the street. Stop him. I'm still running up Farmers. And then I'm going to get to 119th Avenue in a second, but when I told the story, I was misspeaking. Call the police. And I'm running. I'm like, oh, I got to get off this main street, right? So I'm running with Lil Rod, and now Lil Rod's kind of heavy because he's like 2 years old, right? And I ain't been working out. I was busting my gun, right? So I ain't in my best shape. And I done lost 90,000 quarts of blood. You know what I mean? My back, I have to ignore the back. All right. I'm ignoring what went on with my back because pain can't be a factor. Like Asiya said, she said, you have to repress the pain to function. Facts. So the pain it's repressed. I have no choice but to get away. Flight or fight instincts is in effect, right? So I'm running with Ra. So I get halfway up, up Farmers to get to 119th Road. And when I get halfway up, I'm realizing I'm getting tired, right? Because Lil Ra is heavy. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm trying to outbeat the police before they come. So I'm trying to get home. All I'm worried about is I do not want the police. I'm trying to get away. My dumb butt not thinking my car is there. It's a registration. Like I ain't thinking none of that. I'm just trying to get away from the police at this point, right? So I'm running up the street. So when I get to the middle, right before the corner of 119th Road, that's when I realize I'm getting tired, right? So I'm like, I'm not gonna make it all the way up to my block because I'm getting tired. Ride's getting heavy, and I guess it's because I'm losing blood. You know what I mean? So much blood. So I'm like, okay, I know I'm from the street, so I'm like, all right, I got to get off the main street. So I'm like, when I get up to 119th Road, I'm gonna cut to the left. And then I'm gonna cut down, and then I need to cut through these people's backyard. Sorry, that was 119th Avenue. I mean, I'm on Farmers. I need to get off the main road. And the next block is 119th Avenue. It's a big road in Jamaica, Queens. It goes all the way down. And so I cut down. My road is 119th Road. It's another block. But I can't make it, and it's uphill. I can't make it no more because I'm losing so much blood and carrying Ra. And I'm like, I got to get off the main road because the police are going to come from up Farmers this way and that. They're going to come. So I cut up 119th Avenue, but I'm saying road on this lie. I'm just correcting it. I need to go from backyard. I need to cut because the cops are going to be coming either from this way or that way and make it all the way up to my block because I'm getting tired. Ride's getting heavy. And I guess it's because I'm losing blood. You know what I mean? So much blood. So I'm like, okay, I know I'm from the street. So I'm like, all right, I got to get off the main street. So I'm like, when I get up to 119th Road, I'm going to cut to the left, and then I'm going to cut down, and then I need to cut through these people's backyards. I need to go from backyard. I need to cut because the cops are going to be coming either from this way or that way, and I can't run fast enough right now. So I get up to 119th Road, and by the time I get 119th Road, I'm winded. I'm like, and I look back, and I see all the crowd back there, and I'm like, these cops is coming. So I hit to the left. I go to the left. I start running again. So I'm carrying a little rod, blood everywhere, holding my thumb in like this. So I run, and then I'm like, okay, the first house, I'm like, nah, I can't hit the first house. And like, I gotta go down a little, because I know if they're gonna try to catch me. So I'm trying to outthink, where the cops like, so I go down about 3-4 houses, and then I cut through a backyard. So I cut through a backyard, I get to the first one, right? I get to it, bang, they don't have no fence. So I'm good. I get through, bang, I run, I get through. So now I'm on the next block. So I realize now when I get to this one, the next house got a fence. And I'm like, oh, crap. So I stand there with a little rod, and I'm like, oh my goodness, how am I gonna get to this fence? So I'm like, I don't know what to do, right? So I'm like, oh, man. So I'm like, all right, I gotta climb with one hand and try to have to grab him. The fence wasn't high though, it was short. You know what I mean? Basically, I could kind of fall over it. If it was high, I would have been screwed. There's no way I could have got up. So basically, I could kind of fall over it, but it's too hard for me to take him and put him over it. So I put him down. I go up to the fence. I like lean against it. I kind of pull myself up on it with this hand. I pull myself up so I can get to the part of the fence that goes across where you can climb over. And so I lay my body on the part that goes across like this. So I'm gonna, I got to balance so I don't fall over. And then I grab him. I said, come on, Rod, come here, grab my hand. I said, come on. So he come and he grabbed my hand. Now he being a trooper. Rod's just chilling the whole time. He ain't crying. He just with me. We riding this out, right? He ain't make a smirk or nothing. So I said, grab my hand. So he come, he grabbed my hand. So I pull him. I got to pull him. I'm like, I pull everything I got and I pull him up. Now, I got him up and I'm on a fence. So all I could do is fall. My back is already like broken almost. And I knew this was going to be, really bad. So I'm like, I can't get off. I can't climb. I got him I don't got one arm. So I just like, I go, one thing I do always, I still do this to this day, the way I take really strong pain, this is some tool for, just scream growl with the pain. Just go, Rah! If you do that, you can absorb anything, literally. It's a mind control thing. I've always done it, right? That's how I take pain. I take enormous amounts of pain. So I'm like, I knew I just said, and I just fell. And my goal is to cushion my fall with him so he can fall on my body. You know what I mean? And I got to make sure that I just fell. Boom. It wasn't too high, but it was high enough for my body weight. So I fell. Boom. I'm like, it felt like I broke my back. It just, the pain, but I ain't got time for pain, right? So I'm like, So I'm like, So I look at little Rod, you okay? He's like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, get up, bro. So he get up. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, I get up. So I'm like, okay. So I get up. I stand up. I'm like, so me getting up is like, like that. Cause my back is, it's really like practically broken type of thing. So I get up and I'm like, the pain is so bad. So I get up. I'm like, okay, come on. Like I got to coach myself. That's another thing, guys. You have to coach yourself, right? And this is funny because this is probably preparation for what's about to come to America, to birth. When everything crash and fall and all this crazy stuff, these are instinctive things you need to learn because we might be in these situations with what's about to come to this world, right? So I guess that's why I'm giving these other tips of how to make it through certain things. So I'm like, you have to coach yourself. You got to be your own cheerleader. So you got to coach, you got to motivate yourself. So I'm like, all right, come on. Oh, you got to go. So I pick Lil Rod, like, pick him up. So I'm like I'm walking. So I'm like, okay, come on. So now I'm psyching myself. I know I don't got too far to go. I know when I get through this thing, only thing I got to do is cross this other street. And then I'm in my yard, like the back of where my block is, right? So I can see the back of my house type of thing where I live at. So I'm like, all right, come on. And I know it's no fence. My yard ain't fenced in. So I'm like, all right, come on. I just got to get through this. And once I get through this, then I know I can go into my yard. I made it. So I get through that yard, I'm carrying them. And so I know I got to stop first to look to make sure ain't no police. Cause I already heard the sirens. I already heard them. Woo, woo, woo. So I know they already looking. They already driving around. So I get to this street and I look. Now I'm still holding my arm. Blood is, y'all can only imagine how much blood is everywhere, right? Now, also guys, blood is all over him. Little Rod's covered in blood now. because I've been holding him, I've been running, blood was already all over my clothes. So when I went to pick him up for the fence to pull him up, I want y'all to imagine from the first time I picked him up in the garage, in the shop, all us running, falling over the fence, he's covered in blood. So I looked at him and his little clothes, it's blood on his face. So when I for the first time, I looked at him and I could see when he was like, yeah, I'm like, you okay? He like, yeah, and stuff like that. I could see blood, like he's covered, like, and I felt like this is insane that this little 2-year-old boy is just covered in blood, and he's doing everything I say. He's not crying. He's just he's riding with me spiritually, but it kind of hurt me to see him so covered in blood. The surreal of the situation was just insane, bro. This story is so insane. Like, this was so traumatizing. It's like so crazy, bro. All right, let me continue. I seen he had a lot of blood on him, splattered on his face too. But then when he fell on me, he was covered in blood now. So when we fell off the fence, he's covered in blood, and I'm covered in blood. Now I'm looking at my little 2-year-old little man covered in blood. Like, this is like traumatic mentally. You know what I mean? But I ain't got time to worry about none of it, right? Fight or flight instinct. So I got him. I get to the street, right? I'm holding, and I look. I got to look before I get out the door. I look. I don't see no cop car. So that's when I look at him. I see he's covered. I'm like, this is sad, man. I'm like, he's just covered in blood, but he's chilling. He chilling. He literally chilling. And I told him this story later. He didn't remember because he was only 2. But I told him the story. So I go across the street. So I'm walking. I'm limping crazy, right? So I'm walking with him. I can't really run no more. I'm out of it. Like, there's no more. I ain't got no more run in me or nothing. I'm glad. If I wasn't at my backyard, I would have been done, right? I might as well just lay down till they come get me. So I limp across the street and I go into my backyard, right? So I go in through my yard, and I got a basement apartment in the house that the lady rented me to. So, and she let me live. I was kind of too young to even have an apartment. So when I first moved there, she looked out for me because I was too young. You know what I mean? I was homeless. This is the time that I was homeless, and that's my first apartment. The lady let me live there. So the way my entrance was a side entrance right in the back. So it was perfect. So I went in, and that's the picture I'm going to show y'all. I wish I could have found it. So I went in, I opened the door, right? I went in, and the door, we always kept a key, right? We always kept I always did that no matter where I live. So in case emergency or case we lose the keys or something, we always kept a key. So we kept a key hiding spot, just like I had a hiding spot in all my whips. No promoting anything for my drugs and my guns. I was the king of hiding spots. I was always like that, right? So I always kept a key because I don't got my keys, right? Because I don't got my car. Also, my brand new car and my keys and everything, I don't got nothing. I just ran. I ain't got Rod's little bag, his baby. I ain't got nothing. I just got my little son, and that's in my pain, right? So I got the key. I opened it. He said, I got my son and my pain. That is a fact. All I got is me, my bloody self, my bloody son, and all this pain. I ain't even got his baby bag. Now, anybody who raised a baby, y'all know how important a baby bag is with his bottles, his diapers, his binkies, and all that. I ain't got nothing. Door. Open the door, I lock it. I go downstairs. I take little Ra. I'm like, okay, I got to get him out of this stuff. So I take him out of his clothes. I take him in the bathroom. I wash him. I get all this blood off him, right? So I put him in the bathtub and wash him. Get all that blood. It's all in the tub. Wash all the blood off him, right? Dry him off. I take him. Now I'm dripping blood all in my carpet in my house. I take him, get his clothes, And, I put a little shirt on them. I get them dressed. You straight. So Lil Rock straight. So now this is when I go back to the bathroom. So now I go to the mirror. I look in the mirror, and I'm covered in blood. It look like a scary movie. Everything, I'm covered in blood, like covered, bloody everywhere. So now from the light of my bathroom, I open my hand, and now I get to see what's really happening. I open my hand, and I'm like, my thumb is mangled. And all I see, guys, is I see the inside of, you see all this meat and flesh, and I can still see I can see the back of my hand, the flesh, like the back part, this part through here. But what I see, all I see is dirt and rocks and gravel. And I'm like, that ain't good. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm thinking like infection. All I see is dirt and gravel and rocks. So I'm like, okay, this ain't good. So I'm like, okay, I gotta like rinse this off, right? Rinse some of the dirt off. And I think that's the picture that I got, because I'm at my sink. I'm gonna try to find it for next week if I don't find it now. I'm at my sink, but you can still see all the you can see residue of blood everywhere. And I show a picture of it. So I take the water, I got the sink running cold water, and I just take the water and try to get all of the rocks and the pebbles and stuff and any of the dirt, and that's another one. I gotta and just scream because water is gonna get inside it, but I gotta wash it out. I ain't trying to get infected and lose my whole hand. You know what I mean? I'm like, so I'm washing it out and I'm screaming with the pain, like, you gotta just yell. The thing is, guys, you gotta go with the pain. Okay, you gotta go with it. You gotta be like one with it in a way, you just gotta. So I'm like yelling and I'm like washing and as the water, and I'm just washing and I wash the back and I'm washing. So I get it where it's like, I don't see no dirt or anything or gravel, right? So then I'm like, okay, I'm like, all right. So now, once I wash off all the blood, I really get to see part of me. From my ministry, my throat, when I talk too much now, my throat is closing up a little bit. I've been talking for an hour and a half because I'm doing ministry all the time now. So you hear me clear my throat, it's because my throat is going to be closing up soon. So, so I got to get through this story. So once I get to the point where I see all of the, I could see really now. So I'm like, man, this is really bad. Cause I'm thinking this is me. I'm crazy. I always was crazy before. I'm not crazy now. I used to be crazy before. I'm thinking I'm gonna just not go to the hospital and I'm gonna just, I don't know, let it heal itself. That's how I used to think. I just do that all the time. Broken bones, whatever I get, I wouldn't go to the hospital till someone make me go. That's just how I'm still like that to this day. I don't play with doctors and stuff. So I'm like, I'm just gonna keep it clean. I'm gonna have to get some peroxide. I'm gonna have to get some, right? So I'm like, and then I'm thinking I'm gonna get a bandage. I'm gonna get, when my girl come home from work, I'm gonna make her get go get bandage kits, like those big bandages they sell. And then I'm gonna get the peroxide. I'm gonna clean it. I'm gonna push it down in, push my thumb back in its place, push all the meat and stuff back into my hand, and then take it and wrap it. You know what I mean? Wrap it and then get an ace bandage and wrap it and then have to change the dressing that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that is whole facts. That's all I see. We don't play that. I broke my leg and all that. I've broken stuff and then later they say, you were supposed to get this healed. Now forever, this is going to heal wrong. Right? I'm literally preparing, pack the wound, take off the dressing, clean it, peroxide. I'm like, I'm going nowhere near no hospital, no police or nothing.
right? And it's so funny that I'm thinking about this because this type of stuff is going to come in handy with all this darkness that's going to be coming, right? The crazy thing is those people who just went through that hurricane in North Carolina, the ones who survived, this the stuff I'm talking about. They just went through this stuff. You have people who were surviving in the woods and houses fell on them and trees and their limbs is broken and they had to survive until someone come and rescue them. Like fight or flight survival is some serious stuff. And I guess that's the point of this story, right? Survival instincts. You got to survive, bro. It come a time you ain't got time for pain. That's a whole nother reality. When you ain't got time for pain, you don't got time to factor in like the pain stop you. You gotta survive until you can make it out of it. All right? That's now I see why this story is important, right? All right, let's continue. I'm thinking like I'm about to, because I ain't going to know how, I don't play with doctors, right? So I clean it and everything. So I try to find something. I got no bandage. So I take a shirt and I cut it up and I take it and I take this and then I wrap the shirt around here, around my thumb, right? To give some pressure, right? So then I'm like, okay, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to wait it out. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go feed little Ra, and I just gotta wait till she get home, right? So she can go get what I need. So I finish with it. I go back. I got it. My hand is wrapped. I wiped all the. I cleaned myself up as much as I can. So now I go to change my clothes. So I go to change my clothes. Let me point something out to you guys. Yes, Sister Hakyama, adrenaline is a blessing. And Laviyasa, a lot of the sundown towns were washed away. That's dope. That's some next level stuff right there. Now, I'm not thinking, guys, this whole time, I am not thinking that my car is still at that shop with the license plate. And over time, well, they wasn't attracted to our house. So the license plate everything was always in Pam's name, right? My baby mama's name. And it's going to go back to Hempstead. It's going to either they wouldn't have found me from the car license plate, just so y'all know. Now, eventually they would have tracked down Pam somehow and found us later, but it would have been a minute because I never had things that pointed back to me. So it would have went to her mama house in Hempstead or one of our old spots we used to live at. It would have never came to the spot in Queens. Yeah, like my bumper on the other story. They tracked that right to my house. Because the Benz was in her name, but we used our house as the address. But this one, the Queens address, nobody knew that. It was out of the system. So, but it's funny, I'm not thinking about my car, right? I'm thinking the car stuff ain't even registering at this point right here. I'm just thinking of Pam getting home, right? And going out to get the stuff I need to take care of this wound. All right. I'm just going to wait it out. You know what I mean? I'm going to go feed little Ra, and I just got to wait till she get home, right? So she can go get what I need. So I finish with it. I go back, I got it. My hand is wrapped. I wiped all the, I cleaned myself up as much as I can. So now I go to change my clothes. So I go to change my clothes and it's like, it's hurting really bad, but it's pumping. Mm. So as I go to change my clothes, once I change my clothes, I change my shirt and everything. I look, that whole shirt is red now. I took my eyes off it for a second. You know what I mean? As I'm putting, finding clothes and everything, like I'm like this and I put on my shirt and I'm trying to put it over, and everything. I change my pants. So by the time I finish and I look, the thing is so soaked that blood is dripping from the end of and I'm like, this thing soaked up fast. So I was like, oh crap. So I went back in the bathroom, I took it off. So I'm like, man, this is bad. Yeah, guys, what I mean, it was pumping blood. You know how your heart pumps? It wasn't bleeding. It was like, and it was just like pumping out because of the wound was so big. My thumb was cut off. It was just pumping,
Like it was like you is not banjoing this up, bro. You ain't about to do a MacGyver on this, or if you is, you got a lot of more steps and stuff that you're gonna have to do, right? You need to press pressure and it was just crazy, bro. It was crazy.
And I'm like, this is really, really, really bad. Now the pain from my back, I'm ignoring, right? Because I'm kind of hunched over. I can't really walk. So I'm leaving that out. But that pain is insane, but I can't focus on it. So I'm like, this is really bad. So then I get another shirt. I wrap it, right? I wrap it. I do it all again. I wash the blood off again. I do it all again. I wrap it. Then I go in the kitchen and I go get a little raw something. I go make his bottles and stuff like that because I know he's hungry or whatever. So I go in the kitchen. I go get a little raw something to eat. I sit him down at the table. I'm like, you okay? He's like, yeah. So he started eating and stuff, whatever, drinking his little milk or whatever. So then I'm like, I go back into the bathroom again. And this one is soaked bloody again. And I'm like, oh. So now I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? So now I remember my man Born. So I'm on Farmers in 119. Shout out to Queens in the building, Jamaica, Queens. So my man Born live up the street and Crazy Dave live at the other end. So Born is my man, right? So Born, at one time I was picking up some weight for Born. Born had a connect. So Born is my man. He knew me from White Castle parking lot and Lacey's roller rink. I got a story I'm going to tell on one of the big channels about Lacey's. Brian Glaze Gibbs and Pappy Mason. Brian Glaze Gibbs told a story about him and Pappy Mason went to Lacey's looking to kill this dude. I was there. I got a story I'm going to tell you about that. I was there. So a lot of people know me from Lacey's and White Castles after Lacey's and my cars. You know what I mean? So when I moved to that part of Queens, when I moved there, the dude on the block, his name was Born. He was already living there. So when I moved there, one day I was taking the groceries in, and he was like, yo, my man, come here. You know what I mean? So I came down there. He's like, yo, what's up? You just moved in? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm in Rashawn. He's like, I know who you are. I'm like, you know me? He's like, yeah, I know you, man. I know you. He said, you from Long Island, right? I said, yeah. I'm like, how you know me? He said, I know you from Lacey's and White Castle parking lot. He said, yeah, you boys are wild. I remember one time in White Castle, and I'm going to tell that story. So I remember y'all had it going on in the parking lot. Y'all had a big riot. I said, oh, you was there? He said, yeah. I said, that's when I had the Fendi joint. He said, no, I think it was the Fendi joint. I don't remember.
This is funny how the stories now are interconnecting. Yes, Larry, with Crazy Dave, y'all know that. And when now I'm here, Born was I think he was talking about the story when Rambo on this channel, when Rambo was in White Castle parking lot with his white truck trying to mow everybody down, trying to run everybody over, and that stuff when he had the bat on this channel, that story with Rambo, that's what he was talking about. So this was Queens dudes watching like, yo, y'all Long Island dudes is crazy. Like, so he knew who I was and others knew who I was. When I would see them in Queens, they're like, yo, I know him. They would tell him Born and Crazy Dave, like, I know him. He from Long Island, right? He from, they knew. So anyway, it's funny because this story I told here was way before I told the Crazy Dave story, way before I told Rambo's story. So now the stories, as I tell my book, my testimony of my life, they are starting to intersect now. It's pretty dope to witness. All right, let's continue.
The Fendi was after, yes, Fendi was after the Big Benz. Yes, absolutely. I think so. I lose my time frame. But anyway, I don't remember that correctly. But he saw one of my cars, right? So he's like, yeah, I was there. So me knowing that he was there to see that, I'm going to tell that story on here one day. I said, oh, yeah, he know I'm official there. I'm like, if he was there, he know already, like, he know. He's like, yeah, y'all dudes is crazy. I'm like, yeah, that was kind of crazy. Yeah, like that was crazy, right? So I'm gonna tell that story on here one day, right? So he became my man. So that's how he knew. He knew me. So he had the respect level and all that. So he introduced me to Crazy Dave and everybody else who was on the block. So he introduced me like, yo, this is Rashawn, the official from Strong Island, from the official, you know what I mean? So my block, them Queens, they knew me. So I had my
place set on the block. I'm straight. So they knew, I ain't have to put it down or whatever, because I was trying to go low key anyway. But somebody knew me. You know what I mean? I was kind of famous. That's why I said back in the days, I'm kind of famous in the streets, right? From my 90.
I'm sorry, guy. I don't mean to interrupt. Shout out to Brooklyn Red in the building. But me watching this now, the Crazy Dave story, for those who ain't watch it, go watch that on the channel. Now it's hitting different. I'm like, that's when I got introduced to Crazy Dave. It's so crazy watching this back now.
Everybody know we did so much, right? So anyway, so I'm in the house, so I'm thinking, okay, now Born is hustling, so he's home in the day too, right? But Born is an early morning dude. He get up early in the morning. So I hustle overnight. Born type, he be up early. He had a Lexus, a brand new Lexus with Adonis rims, the ones with the big chrome balls on the end. For those who old school watch this, these was the official, I'm talking those days when Terra rims, when Biggie said, chrome rim with Terra rims, these that rappers rapped about. We was living it. Biggie and all.
Biggie said Chrome and Terror, such and such. And Born had the Lexus Coupe. That's when Lost Boys, the Lex Coupe, Beamer in the Benz. He had a black SC 400. Those days.
Before they got their record deal, rapping about we was living it. So Born had the crazy Lexus Coupe. So if y'all know the Lost Boys song, the Lex Coupe, Beamer's in the Benz. For all my radio, that famous song, this is the time of the Lex Coupes, okay? Lex Coupes was the hottest, the two-door. He had a black two-door Lex Coupe. Right back when the Lex Coupe, Beamer's in the Benz, right? So this when they first dropped. So he had one with the chrome Adonis rims on it. So Born would be up early. I see him get out, go take his car to the car wash. He'd be out going to Jamaica Avenue or something. He was a pretty boy too. Born was one of the pretty butter soft skin dudes. Like he was just pretty. I was like, dang, you know what I mean? I'm like one of them handsome, pretty boys, real pretty boy, right? I was like, dang, I wish my parents gave me good genes like that, right? Like skin look like cocoa butter or something. I'm like, you gotta stay away from my girl. I'm like, one of those. I'm like, boy, you ain't coming to the crib. He one of those. I'm not bringing you in the crib. Man, the devil's a lie. I was always wise. I don't care. I'm like, you too pretty, boy. You stay away from my girl. I better not even see you look at my girl, right? But he was respectful. But that was my man. Born was a pretty.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm serious. I'm so serious. I'm like, bro, you ain't coming nowhere near my crib with my girl and sister. Same thing. Don't be bringing your pretty female friend. She got 36, 32, 36 or whatever, 28, big butt, hips, face, hair, pretty, everything, toes, all. Man, you better keep her away from your house and your husband in the. You leaving her in the house of mine. Well, okay, I'm going to go to the store and get us so we can make us some food. You leaving her with your husband, man, y'all better wisen up. I don't play no parts of that. I'm looking at Born, I'm like, you ain't going nowhere near my crib. I see you near Pam, I'm about to shoot you, right? Facts, I don't play all that.
I was always wise. I don't care. I'm like, you too pretty, boy. You stay away from my girl. I better not even see you look at my girl. Right, but he was respectful, but that was my man. Born was a pretty boy, right? So anyway, so and I'm in there, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I know Born is up, and it's probably, I need to hurry up because he probably gonna drive out, he going to Jamaica Avenue shopping or go and get some girls or something. So I'm like, I need to go down there and get Born. I need to go to the hospital. You feel me? I'm like, I gotta go to the hospital. God, it's soaked up the second thing, and I'm like, I'm losing a lot of blood. So I'm starting to get, yes, Feya, you could have gone into shock. That's what I'm talking about, Feya. Exactly.
Facts. That's what, I'm losing so much blood, I'm starting to get woozy. That part, the woozy part reminds me of the movie, Scary Movie. Y'all remember that funny movie from the Wayans Brothers, Scary Movie? No, not Scary Movie. No, not the funny one, the Scream. I think it's called Scream, the psycho one, where the white dude said, I'm getting woozy now. He was killing, they were stabbing him, and he kept saying, stop, I'm getting woozy. That's where I started to get a little woozy. I'm like, bro, I'm getting lightheaded. That's why I knew I'm losing too much blood. That's why I was like, I gotta go find Born before he leave, because Born be up early in the morning, and I need to go to the hospital. That's what I know, bro. I'll mess around by the time Pam get here, I'll be dead on the floor in the doggone house, losing so much blood.
I'm starting to lose so much blood that I'm starting to get lightheaded, right? So I'm like, if I go to sleep, I could die. I know this. I got common sense, right? So I'm like, this is bad. This is worse than I can imagine. I'm like, I can't do this myself. So I was like, all right. So now I gotta get little Rod dressed again. So, but he's already got clothes on, but I gotta get him ready for us to go, because now I'm gonna go to the hospital. So I gotta pack a bag. See, this is man stuff. This is daddy daycare. This is real men who really take care of their kids. I took care of my kids, right? So I raised them. So now I got to pack a whole new bag. Now I got to find that one of the extra baby bags, because I lost the new baby bag. But y'all always, how the baby bags get old and the milk gets smelly because the milk spilled in it. Those, y'all know I know what I'm talking about, right? So the milk spilled in it, so you got to clean out, so you get a new baby bag, right? Or you have a couple different ones if your wife want to have different baby bag. So I got to find an old baby bag. So I find an old baby bag. Now I got to make his bottles. I got to grab his diapers. I got to, I got to do all that. I got to grab a pack of wipes. So, I make the bag because I know we going to the hospital. I need to make a bunch of bottles and stuff. I need to put some snacks. Yeah, I'm thinking of my son. I need to grab some little chips and snacks, you know what I mean? So I make the baby. Yes, baby, I definitely super dad, and I'm half dead. But of course, we think of our children. This is survival instincts, right? This is what we are called to be. We're called to protect the old, the young, the meek, the humble, the widows, all of it, the babies, the orphans. That's what we're called from the Most High. So come on, and I take care of my own. It's just all I know. So I get little Rod, all his bag stuff together, little Rod straight. I got everything together. So now I got to pick him up. Oh my goodness. Now, guys, understand, once your adrenaline, remember, adrenaline is the thing that really stops and numbs the pain, and you focus and not panicking. Once you calm and your serotonin levels and your adrenaline, everything starts to settle. That's when everything starts to settle. That's when so I know I was in pain until I went to try to pick him up. I went to try to pick him up, and it was like, it was like somebody took a knife and just stabbed me right in my back. I said, oh my. I was like, that's not going to happen. I was like, yo, Rob, you got to walk. Okay? He said, okay. It's like he knew what was happening. He was quiet the whole time. Rob used to cry all the time. Rob was the most annoying baby in the world. He's one of them bad babies. My daughter Star, she was the best baby in the world. Never cry, ever, 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 for nothing. She just, when she want a bottle, let me know she want a bottle or a diaper change. Rob, he'd cry nonstop. I used to think he was a man trapped in a baby's body. Little Rob was a miserable child. He was so active that it felt like he was trapped in a baby's body. But he wanted to move and jump and run when he couldn't run. He used to be in the crib pissed. I'm like, why are you so angry, little boy? He used to throw his bottle. He used to throw his bottle in the crib and it'll smash against the wall and explode and milk everywhere. I'm like, he would throw the bottle, boom. And I'm like, this little boy is the angriest. And then I had to realize, I said, oh, he's trapped in the baby's body. He's literally trapped. He wants to be able to run and move, and he gets frustrated because he can't, his body wouldn't catch up to his mind. And once me and my ex realized that, me and my baby mother, we realized that we was able to deal with him better because we knew he was just stressed out.
Yo, I swear to y'all, he reminded me of a little man trapped in a baby's body that's stuck inside of this body, and he's frustrated. So he would just be angry all the time, and he would just cry and I felt so bad but we was able to deal with him better once I realized what was happening. It made it easier for me and Pam to be able to deal with him, right? He used to throw the bottles at us and everything. Like, that's why I said I used to come home from hustling, right? I swear to you, I used to come home 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I'll come home early because we would run out. I'm not promoting drug sales and drug life. I'm just telling the testimony of the life that I was living back then, right? So, pardon me, I would come home early, right? Because I would run out. So I would come home to get more and bring it back. So I might come home 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I get downstairs and I get to the room and he's standing up in the crib with his bottle, right? He little in the crib, and he got Jason, the movie, a scary Michael Myers or something on it. Everybody sleep. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. This little boy up sitting there watching Jason. He watching some scare. I said, what is, and he look at me and be like, and then he get mad when I gotta leave because he want to go with me, but he can't. He a baby. I'm like, and then he throw the bottle because I give him a new bottle. And boom, the bottle would hit the wall and milk splatter everywhere and wake everybody up. I'm like, this little, he'd throw the bottle like, get out. I'm like, this little boy is a trip. So anyway, all right, let me get back to the story. Oh, y'all pardon me that I keep adding to the story. All right, here we go. He was a stressed out little kid. He was horrible. He was the worst kid in the world. He would cry. We got stories. Even Star got stories as we got older. He would just cry all the time. Never. He was just miserable. He just wanted to be out of that baby's body so he can move and run and do stuff, right? So I'm realizing Rod, he must realize what's going on because he ain't cried one time. He was just like, I said, you can walk? He said, uh-huh. Larry, I just put that together with what you just said. This whole thing was entertaining. That's why he ain't cried out one time. He was just sitting there watching everything calm. He didn't watch Michael Myers kill and murder 900. He been watching all this stuff, Jason, all that. That was his thing. That's, you know how people, you put on Barney and something and the kids are, oh, no. You got to put on something scary for him to calm down. Then everybody, the Star and Pam would go to sleep and this fool be up. So this whole story, Larry, since you wrote that, this whole time, it's like a movie for him. He's sitting there. That's why I'm like, you all right, Rod? He like, mm-hmm. Every time, like, you okay? Mm-hmm. I'm like, come on, he's sitting there covered in blood and all that. That is hilarious, Larry, y'all. He in the real live action. He in the real movie. That's the Viking, Brooklyn Red. So now y'all see how all these stories now is. That's why I'm glad that the Yakata is helping me go back and relive the old stories I told. So now I told the new story. Now y'all got the pieces to the puzzle. Yeah, this is the so for those who don't know, go on the channel. It's a video called The Black Viking. That's what we named him as he got older. That's him. So watch that and you'll know his story. Yeah. All right. So Dag, Larry, that's crazy. He literally was entertaining for him. All right, here we go. I said, okay, come on. So we walk. Now I can't walk. I'm like limping. I'm bent over. So I did a new wrap, right, of my hand. He was a stressed out little kid. He was horrible. He was the worst kid in the world. He would cry. We got stories. Even Star got stories as we got older. He would just cry all the time. Never. He was just miserable. He just wanted to be out of that baby's body so he can move and run and do stuff, right? So I'm realizing Rod, he must realize what's going on because he ain't cried one time. He was just like, I said, you can walk? He said, uh-huh. I said, okay, come on. So we walk. Now I can't walk. I'm like limping. I'm bent over. So I did a new wrap, right, of my hand with a new shirt. I done ruined 2 already. This is going to be 3. I wrapped it again, got him all together, got my bag, put the bag over my shoulder, like you put it over your head and let it hang to the back. So I got his hand. So we go up the little steps because I'm in the basement. We go up the steps, we open the door, I lock the door, I go out. Now Bourne lived 2 houses down to the left. So I come out. So, I'm still from the streets. So as soon as I come out my yard, I stop. I got to look for police, right? I'm still from the streets. I look, no police, everything quiet. I don't hear no sirens. I heard sirens in the distance. So anyway, when I was washing up, I could hear sirens all over. They were searching for me for a long time.
I heard sirens go up my street. You hear the cars go boom and up. They going around because I can hear it from my basement. I got windows in my basement, the basement windows. Those little small New Yorkers know what I'm talking about. So I'm like, I'm hearing it. So by the time this is hours later, they gone, right? I guess they realized he gone. They couldn't catch me. So I look, no cops. So I walk down. I see, when I go out, I see Bourne's Lexus is still there. He's still there. I said, good, Bourne home. So I knock on the door. His pops came to the door. Now, Bourne pops used to smoke, he smoked crack, but he was a functioning crackhead. He was a tall, light-skinned, pretty boy. That's where Bourne get it. I guess, he got two pretty parents. So Bourne get the pretty boy stuff from his pretty parents, right? So Pop, I like Pop. So Bourne would sell crack to his pop, and sometime when Bourne didn't want to sell it to him, his pop would come to me. And I remember me and Bourne had a discussion, and Bourne's like, I really don't want you to sell it, but you know what? I'd rather he get it from you, because then he's going to be going in all type of Queens and all type on South Side over there, Supreme Team and them and all that. And, he could get into something. So he's like, I can't stop it. So I'd rather him buy it from you. So I was like, all right, I got you. So whenever he come, I'll take care of him. He's like, all right, thanks. That's kind of our reality, guys. Living in the crack era, you had family members that were strung out on crack, and you had to deal with it. So his dad, who he lived with, but he was a functioning crackhead, but Bourne, helped him out with his rent. And his dad was fly. He kept little crackhead women and stuff. He always kept a prostitute and all that. He was a funny old timer. He's an old time,
Facts. So his dad, this is the story with Crazy Dave. Remember when the police, and then also, I don't know if that's the Crazy Dave story, the story when the police came and, what they call that? The task force unit. When they thought I had a gun in my car, and it was Little Rod's play toy gun, and Bourne's father came out on the street. That's him. His father's a trip. He was like, he was flipping on them, get on all the police on the street. I love how these stories are tying in. All right, let me continue.
He looked good too to be his age, even doing crack. But this was our reality. So his pops answered the door, Pop. So me, so I always look out for him. He'll come late at night sometime, or if I'm home or somewhere early in the morning, I'll look out for him. Here, Pop, go ahead. So he opened the door and he like, whoa, what's wrong? Because now this new bandage is bloody red. So he's like, what's wrong with you? What happened? He said, the police looking for you? I said, yeah. He said, come in. Come in, close the door. So I come in, close the door. He's like, Bourne, get your butt down here. So Bourne come down. So Bourne like, yo, what up, bro? I'm like, yo, son, I need to go to the hospital. He's like, what happened? I said, man, I'll tell you, I need to go to the hospital. I'm like, I'm losing, like, I'm passing out. Like, I'm holding on, but I'm ready to pass. Like, I'm seeing, like, my vision is blurry, all type of stuff. Like, I'm losing too much blood. So I'm like, I need to go to the hospital. So Bourne like, all right, come on. He looking. So his pop's like, yo, we need to change that bandage. I said, it's just a shirt. So I said, just get me another shirt. So he went and got me another shirt, and we just wrapped it again. So he wrapped it around everything. So Bourne grabbed his stuff. So like, come on. So he said, all right, let me go out first and make sure ain't no cops. So he went out, he's like, all right, ain't no cops, come on. So we got in his car, we got in his Lex Coupe. So he got tinted window. So we pulled off. So now when we pulled off, he was like, he was like, I don't know where to take you. He said, you know what? I'm gonna take you to Jamaica Hospital, because they got a trauma center, something like that, right? So he's like, all right. So we make the left and we hit Farmers. So we got to go up. So now to get to Jamaica Hospital, we got to get on the Parkway, right, and take it up. So we start
On the Belt Parkway. For everybody from Brooklyn Red, you know about the Belt Parkway. So I got to take Farmers up to the Belt to go to Jamaica Hospital.
To go, and when we start to go up, Bourne is like, he like, nah. He said, if we hit, because now it's later in the day, right? So he's like, if we hit Jamaica Hospital, we're going to run into all that traffic on the Belt Parkway, and we're going to be stuck in traffic. And he see now my thing is filling up again. And he see me like, I'm like lightheaded. Like I'm like trying to stay awake. You know what I mean? And I'm sweating, and I guess I'm looking pale because I done lost tons of blood. Like I'm probably looking dead. So he's looking at me as he's driving, and he's talking to himself, and he like, nah, I can't take him to Jamaica Hospital. I can't take you to Jamaica Hospital. We're gonna get stuck in traffic. I ain't trying to lose you, Ra. I ain't trying to lose you. So I'm like, I can't even talk, right? No, my son, no, he came with us. He came with us. He's in the car with us. Lil Ra's in the car with us. So he in the back seat. So so he's talking, right? He's talking to himself, and he keeps looking over at me. So I'm kind of trying not to go to sleep because I know better than to go to sleep. And he's saying too, Ra, don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep. I'm like, I'm not. So he's like, I can't take you to Jamaica Hospital. I can't take you to Jamaica Hospital. So he's thinking, he's like, and he turned the car around, pardon my language. He turned around. He's like, we gotta go to Mary Immaculate. So Mary Immaculate is by Jamaica Avenue. It's on the back streets by Jamaica, by the shopping center where we shop. And Mary Immaculate became the ground 01 for the pandemic. Remember when the Jim Jones jab juice stuff was going on? That was the one they kept showing on TV, and they said New York was the hot spot. They kept showing Mary Immaculate Hospital. So I remember when I seen it, I said, that's the doggone hospital. Talking about it was ground 0 for the Jim Jones, that scare that they had. I don't want to say it so we don't get flagged, right? That foolishness, right? So anyway, so he like, I gotta take you to Mary Immaculate. I gotta take you to Mary Immaculate. So now it's a long drive, right? So we driving. So bang, we get to Mary Immaculate, right? So we pull up, and when we pull up, there's a bunch of cop cars there, right? But that's normal for hospitals, right? You know, cops take people in emergency, right? So we pull up, we go, we get out. So he helps me out, right? Because I'm like out of it. So I get out. So he grabs Lil Ra, and he's holding Lil Ra, and so he holding me. So I like holding him as like a crutch. So now all the pain from me relaxing and sitting, I could barely walk. I can't twist. I can't barely move. So we start walking in to Mary Immaculate, right? So we get inside, blood, you know, this thing is filled with blood. So we get inside, right? So they run up, they're like, what happened? So, Born know like I know. We just like, he was in the fight and he cut himself. You know, someone tried to cut him, right? That was it. He was in the fight, someone tried to cut him. So I'm like, yeah, I think they cut my thumb off. So they're like, okay. So they get the thing and everything. Say, okay, take him over here. So they start to take me back, right? So now Born is like, he's like, all right, I'll keep Little Ra, right? So I'm like, all right, thank you, Born. So I know Little Ra straight. I got his baby bag, and Born got a little girl too. So Born watches his little girl sometime in the daytime too, when his baby mama bring him up. So Born good with kids. Born's a good dude. You know what I mean? So I know Little Ra safe with Born. So he like, I got him, Ra. I'm like, everything in the baby bag. He got snacks. He got all of it. He like, all right. So they take me into the back, right? So now they got to walk me because I can't even walk. So I'm walking, and then this is the crazy part. We walking through the hallway to get to my hospital room. So as we walk in and they walking me, and all of a sudden I see these police. So it's 2 police, and we walking, and we get to a room, and I look eye to eye with the old man. Eye to eye. I look, and I'm like, and he look at me, and I'm like, and he goes, that's him. He just yells, that's him. That's him. I know, y'all. I look, now I can walk half dead. I look, and it's him. And he's sitting up on the thing. So he got the dress, they put the dress on you. So he's sitting up on the table with that dress thing that they cover you with. You don't got no. I look at the hospital. I look in a room at the hospital where the police is, and the old man who tried to cut my head off is sitting on the hospital bed. The dude who tried to stab me, cut my head off, is sitting. He's like, that's him. I'm like, what? Pants on, and he like, that's him. And he started yelling. And I'm like, I can't believe, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And the police go and they run into his room and he's like, that's him right there. So the police turn around and they come and they're like, that's him. You're under arrest. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me.
Guys,
They're like, you're under arrest.
guys, all the running, all the falling over the fences, all the rapping, all of this for hours and hours for me to just go to the hospital for them to lock me up. Like, I might as well just, oh my goodness, you can't even make this up. I might as well just never did all that. Oh, this is insane.
So then the doctor said, stop. He has to get it, he's losing blood. We got to get him. No, you gonna. So it was like, okay, well, we're going, what room? They was like, we're taking him into room such and such. So it was like, okay, once once you're finished with him, he's under arrest. So we're gonna be stationed outside his door. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. The odds, guys. I'm like, so what Charles said, we should do some short stories on me, bro. I'm from, all right, no doubt. I got you, King. You can be a guest on the show. So just hit me up. Uncle Yahshua Truth TV at yahoo.com. All right, that's my email address. All right, so yo, guys, I'm like tripping because I'm like, I did all this time running for the police. Like, yes, I said, you cannot make this up. No, you cannot. I did all of this running from the police. I mean, I ran up farmers, ran through the yards, fell over the fence, all the blood, I did all this to go to the hospital for the police. I said, you gotta be kidding me. I might as well just stayed and got arrested. It would have saved me a lot of time, a lot of pain, a lot of everything. My luck, I swear, my life, that was my life. I swear that was my life. That was my life. That's like the story of my life, literally right there. That's how my life always went. So I'm looking and I'm like, so now they take me in, right? So now, this is the funny part, because now the whole hospital, because he yelled, that's him. So the whole hospital is alerted, right? So all the doctors, nurses, everybody run. So now the nurses and doctors who was treating me nicely, now they treated me like I'm a criminal. Now they treated me mean. I'm like, oh, this is just what I need. Right? Like, I'm a nice guy. I got my little baby boy out there in the, I'm like, dude. So now they come in and they treated me mean, right? So every demeanor just changed. So now I'm a criminal. I guess they realized I don't know what lie he told them. So I think they probably thinking like, oh, this is some young thug. He went and tried to beat up on this old man, right? Now y'all know, because so imagine how, even the cops. So imagine how the cops are treating me now, right? So everybody's treating me like I'm public enemy number one, right? Like I went and started, because he probably lied and said he tried to rob my shop and everything. He was yelling. And I had to do this and all that. I defended myself, right? Because he's in the hospital because I don't know, when we fell, he must have hurt himself. You know what I mean? Because we fell, I couldn't, because he fell on top of me, but I'm quite sure his arm probably hit metal or something. I don't know how he hurt himself, but he was in the hospital, right? I don't know if he was faking. He probably was trying to do that to get a hospital report because he was trying to take my car. I remember, I never forget, he said, I'm gonna get a mechanic's lien.
And guys, he got my car. He got it at the end. He took the car. I never got the car back. He got the mechanic's lien and he got the car.
And this is going to be my car. So he's probably a wise old crook and realized I need to go play this up, go to the hospital. I got a police report. I got a hospital report. I take out the mechanic's lien. I get this car free and clear, right? So I'm putting stuff later too, because this story, it's the full story. So I So now they treated me mean as crap, right? So now the doctor come in, they got an attitude. So before they was all nice, like they want to help me. Now they leaving me. Now they like, well, we just need to. So then the doctor came in. So I remember I heard them distinctly say when they was taking me, when the cops was first, when they first said, the cops was like, they was like, we got to rush him into surgery. I remember this distinctly. They said, we got to rush him into surgery. He needs emergency surgery. Now, when they get me in the room, I hear the doctor come in, and the doctor said, I think the nurse said something about, so we something with the surgery. He said, no, we're gonna stitch him up. And I remember hearing it, but I was so weak and stuff from loss of blood that I didn't really put it together till later. They were supposed to do a surgery. I was supposed to get laser surgery procedure, but that doctor now wants to treat me like a slave, basically. So he's like, nah, ain't there, so we're gonna stitch him up. So they go, they do all, that pain was insane, because now they gotta stick needles. They gotta wash it. Oh boy, talk about pain. Y'all want to hear some pain, boy. I was like, wow, they have to wash it and clean it and do it, and then stick needles in to numb it, right? So they got to stick a needle into the thing to numb the, that pain was insane, whatever. So they do all the things. So they stitch me up. So I got stitches all the way from here, all the way around, all the way around. Well, it starts from here, right? So these are stitch marks all the way around, all the way around, all the way around, all the way around to here, all the way to here. Sorry. So it stitches a bunch of them. So they stitched my whole thing up, right? And my thing is purple and big and, whatever. And it looked like Frankenstein. The stitches, it looked horrible, bro. It looked like Frankenstein. So they stitched me up, right? And then after they stitch me up, right? So they got to do all the paperwork and the procedures and stuff, right? So now the cops is there. So the cops already called it in. So they're like, we got one coming down to central booking, right? So I'm like, now I'm going to jail. Like, can't make this up. I'm like, really, God, this is horrible, right? That's definitely worst day ever. So after they stitch me up and I'm waiting, they doing all the paperwork and all that stuff. Another East Indian, right? East Indian surgeon, because a lot of that part of Queens and Hillside, there's a lot of East Indians over there, right? That's their area over there. For those who know about Hillside and Jamaica Avenue and all that, over by Mary Immaculate. So East Indian doctor, he came in. So it was an East Indian nurse lady. She was kind of nice to me, right? Because she seen they was treating me bad. So she came in, she was looking at me. She's like, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. So she was like, all right, let me know if you need something. So she must have went and told the a surgeon or something. She must have went and told the surgeon that I guess she knew I was supposed to get surgery. So the surgeon doctor, East Indian doctor came in there. So he came in, he said, let me see your hand. Right? He talked, with the East Indian accent. So I turned my hand and he looked, right? And he was like, this is bad. With the 7-Eleven accent, I don't want to try to mimic the accent, talk like Johnny number 5, at the 7-Eleven, this is bad. You know how they talk. I don't mean no disrespect. But he was like, this is bad. He said, no good. No good. He said, they were supposed to do surgery. It was mandatory that they do surgery. He said, for the rest of your life, it will never heal. You will have pain for the rest of your life. And I'm like, he said, no good. This no good. This no good. And then the lady said, I told you, doc, I told you. And he turned and he looked at me. He said, no good. And he turned and looked at the officers. He said, this no good. This man needed surgery. Pain right now. This was 91, and it's 2024, and I still feel
pain like people like they stabbing needles into my palm right now as we speak. Whole facts.
And he walked out. And to this day, he's right. Right now, when I take my finger, this was
Oh man.
30 years ago. This is 1992 or something, 1991. This is 2023. I don't know how long ago that was. Add it up.
Right there. Y'all see that? See? Oh, I don't know if y'all could see it. Let me see if y'all can see. Yep, yeah, I see my cursor. So right there, see that? Right around that's a cut. They stitched that. That's the mark. It goes a little further past my knuckle, and then it goes around, right around into the palm, and then it cuts all the way into the palm, all the way around the perimeter of my outside. It cut my whole thumb off.
Now, when I take my finger, right now it feels like pins and needles. Right now it hurts. As soon as I just rub it across lightly like that, I just did it, and it feels like pins and needles sticking in. And every now and then when it rains with the weather, it hurts. I'm thankful that I can use the hand and I can lift weights, and the weights fall across my palm right at the top. And I always position the weights where it doesn't lay on this part. It's sensitive. It's to this day. When I do like that, it hurts. Like right there, that hurt. And now my finger's ringing, my whole thumb. He said it. He was correct. He knew forever. And when it rains, I feel something. Now, so he walks out, right? So now the other doctor who did it, the nurse come back. So now they got to finish me up. So they bandage me up, right? They put they put this big white bandage. I got a big mitt. Like I got a big mitten. You know what I mean? Like it's huge. So because this is horrible, right? I was supposed to have surgery, right? So I got this big white mitt on my hand, right? Like, you know. So now they pick me up. I'm sore as all outdoors. So the cops come and they can't like really put handcuffs on me because of the thing. So they just walk me. They're like, you okay? You ain't. I'm like, I can't run, man. I can't even walk. Right? So they're like, he good. So they walk me out the room. And when they walk me out the room, the old man is standing in the hallway. So he's standing in the hallway. So I'm walking, I'm limping. And I walk and I look, and I said, this mother, this mother effer, right? So I'm like, and he like, yeah. He said, I got me a brand new pretty car. I said, this mother effer. I'm like, I look at the cops, I'm like, he said, yeah, that's what you get. Now I got me a brand new pretty car. I got me a pretty car. I'm giving that to my wife. She got her a pretty present coming. And I was like, wow. And I had bought it for my girl. And I couldn't even entertain it no more, guys. So I just limped past him. I just ignored him. You know what I mean? And he was yelling at me down the hallway, talking all this crap, being bragging and all, good for you, and all that. I'ma sue you, all this crap, right? So they walked me.
And he did. As a future story at the end of that I tell, he sued me too. And he got the car. And I got locked up. And I went to Rikers Island. This story crazy.
Now they take me down to central booking. They take me into central booking, bang. They take me through, then they finish processing me. They go through all this crap. I'm there, I'm in the jail. I'm like, I'm in the cage or whatever. Central, that takes all freaking day. So now, as they taking me out, before that, they taking me out. When they taking me to go walk through the thing, born.
All right, now I rewind it back. They took me to walk. Now I'm walking out the hospital as the police are taking me to take me to jail now. I'm in the hospital.
I look at born, right? So I'm like, oh, crap. So I'm like, I'm like, Born. I'm like, he like, yo. I'm like, they locking me up, boy. He like, what happened? I said, dude, the man was in this hospital. And Bourne was like, I knew I should have took you to Jamaica Hospital. I'm like, oh, wow, right? I forgot he was originally trying to take me to Jamaica Hospital. I'm like, oh, that's the only thing I kept thinking, crap, why he couldn't have just took me to Jamaica Hospital, right? So I was like, yo, Bourne, I need you to hold it down. Take Lil Ra. I said, Pam will be home. She should be home by the time y'all get back, right? So he's like, I got you, right? You know I got you. I'm like, good looking, boy. He said, all right, I got you. He said, yo, I'm gonna come. He said, I'm gonna get you a lawyer. You know what I mean? He like, I got you. I'm gonna get you a lawyer. I'm coming to get you. So I was like, all right, that's what's up. So we started to walk, and you know how the doors open? This is funny. So when the doors open, I I realized, and I said, excuse me, officer, hold on for 1 second. I said, could stop. I turned around, I said, boy. He said, what? I said, stay away from Pam. And he bust out laughing. I was like, stay away from Pam. Born too pretty. I was like, you get your little pretty self away from. Hey, stay away from Pam. Don't be looking at her eyes. You know, he had colored eyes and all that. He a real pretty boy. I was like, stay away from Pam. Like, facts. Don't be looking at her all in her eyes. Then mesmerized her, fall in love. I'm for real. You know, I'm real. I was like, stay away from Pam. He just bust out laughing. You know what that means. I know he one of the prettiest dudes in the world. He reminded me of Absalom from the scriptures. Anybody know the story of Absalom? I was like, stay your Absalom butt away from Pam. I know that's right.
All right. So, so let me come back. So that story was the story of he tried to chop my head off with a machete. I'll continue another time. The Absalom or Joseph. Yeah. Yasaf was handsome too, but Absalom's supposed to be the prettiest man ever alive in the scriptures. Dayaz, King David's son. There's a continued story where I tell another part where I went to jail. So they take me to Queen's House, QHD, Queen's House of Detention. And then I think it's this one. I end up going to Rikers too. Bandaged and hurt. I couldn't even walk, bro. I was in so much pain, and it's a whole nother story with this, where I end up in jail with this. And then, like I said, this man actually sued me, took my car. This was, and I used to all the time dream and vision me going down there and praise the Most High I didn't and killing this old man. I fought that for so long to go down there because I would drive past sometime and see him out there like nothing happened. He out there with I said, this old man think he can do this to somebody's life, but I fought it. I'm glad I did. I fought. I never did anything to him. I never retaliated. And I'm proud of myself for it. I received my mistake in all of it. And I received my actions. Well, to give a moral of the story, be very careful who you entertain. Never let your emotions supersede your intelligence. Always think, because one action, yes, Hakiyama, be careful who you entertain. One action can change the trajectory of your whole entire life. Always weigh and judge, assess every situation. Think in the moment. Stay present. Always look for the spirits that come over people. This man had devils over him, and they were geared to destroy me. He tried to chop my head off. Do you understand? You have to Yohanan said, I was waiting till the end, but this story just left me with unrighteous anger. But that man was just devilish every step of the way. Yes. And there you go, Yohanan. Don't let the story take you out of your righteousness. Understand what it is. We are to have a level of, it's allowed to have anger and all of it for things that are unjust. But we have to keep our righteousness and assess the situation and understand that there are devils that take over people. Yeah, Yahanan said, it is hard to hear because he was so selfish, and to do that around a young child when he was in the wrong in the first. Yes, and the one that really triggered me is when he said, I'll chop his head off too, or something he said. When I said, oh, old timer, like, yo, I got my son in my hand. He said, I'll chop his effing head off too, or something. That's when I lost it. Because you telling me that you would chop my son head off? That's when I lost it. But again, you can't let another person's words, actions, deeds, or emotions trigger you to make you do an emotional response. See, if I could have mastered the situation, it would have been to pay the $150, get out of the situation, get my son, get my car, remove myself, go hire, because I had a lot of money. I wasn't a millionaire at that point, but I was hood rich, right? Later, go get Pam, hire us a lawyer, attorney, and go sue that man, right? Do the laws of the land that we're in. Go back, sue that man for that unright, and try to close that shop because he's unrighteous. That's what I should have. But I didn't know, I wasn't who I am now, right? I was in my sin and iniquity. I was a child, basically. All I knew was the streets. I was from Parkside Projects, right? Hempstead Strong. All I knew is survival. I didn't have a dad to teach me or none of that. I'm looking at hindsight. I'm giving a moral of the story. Be wary of spirits that take over people. And at these end times, it's getting darker and darker. A lot of people is learning from Puff Diddy, from Diddy stories, right? Those dark spirits that got them raping men and just drugging people, right? You're innocent and you're trying to do something without malicious and they drugged you, and next you know they raping you and all. This world is darker and darker. So assess where you at. Don't just receive. Don't take nobody's drink don't go nowhere into nobody's private home. Just realize devils are alive and they're possessing people all over the place. And if you have any type of righteousness in you, light in you, it's sent to destroy you. It's after your innocence, your righteousness, to make you dark, like Puff Diddy, like Diddy, so you can harm others. Okay? That's the darkness. Another one down. Uncle Yahshua, 25 to Life Testimony TV. Keep it functional is the motto of the channel. Watch, pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. This goes to your family members too. You'll be your own. Remember, somebody else wrote on the ministry, even friends. You think these people, you got friends setting friends up, and they end up killing you. Be extra alert on everybody. Don't sleep on nothing. And again, watch your emotions. Assess situations, control your emotions, think through all the way through, and get out to be able to reassess and to fight another day, if so you will. And remember, vengeance belongs to the Most High. All right. I love you all. Keep fighting the darkness.
Bossy, you know what it is.
From Uncle Yahshua, 25 to Life Testimony TV, another one down. Yo, everybody out there for the ministry and everything, thank you so much for enjoying and helping out with this story and welcoming the people as they came in. All right, I'll see y'all on Wednesday. If a tornado, a hurricane is supposed to be hitting, so I don't know if I'll be live on Wednesday. I don't know if I'll have electricity. If I can, I'll try to go live on my phone, but we'll see. Most High willing, I don't lose electricity and the storm doesn't hit the hurricane doesn't hit where I'm at. But if it does, I'll be live Friday. Hopefully we'll have electricity. If not, I'll do it from my car with the phone. But if I don't see y'all on Wednesday, hopefully I see you on Thursday investment group. Hopefully, if not Friday. But make sure y'all pray for me and others that are in Florida that the hurricane don't harm none of us. The Most High got me, so y'all ain't got to worry about me. I'ma tough it up through it all. I don't give a crap if the whole house fall. If everything fall, I already know what I'ma grab. I'm grabbing my hard drives. I'm grabbing the word of the Most High, and it'll be me alone holding on, and not me alone, me and the Yakatas holding on to a tree while the wind blowing with my hard drive. While the wind blowing, because you know what's on those hard drives? The word of the Most High. I already know. I got my priorities in order. I got a bag. I'm gonna put it in on the back. Yeah, we prepared, but everybody, y'all keep us in our prayers. And the Most High got me. Y'all already see I done been through hell and high water, so it is what it is. You heard? But I got some preparation stuff that I'm gonna come and teach y'all because they're gonna be manufacturing weather warfare and sending it. Right? So it could be coming to a place near you. Remember, they had ice storms in New York. They froze Texas over and on. Oh, this stuff is intentional. It's going to ramp up. So we got a lot of preparation stuff that we're going to be bringing out for y'all. Little tips and tricks, like stuff that I did. Right? All right. I love y'all all. I'll see y'all on the next one. 25 to Life Testimony TV. Again, like how Yama said, we ain't glorifying. This is the testament and the story of the life, the trials and tribulations of a young man in the streets of New York during the crack era that grew through it and learned. And now I'm a man of the Most High teaching when Mashiach Assembly Ministries House of Yah. We out. I love you.
This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua.
You wanna know why they call me Lucky Lucha? They call me Lucha cause I like to talk that choo-chee. All the time on the grind, getting that doochie. This is a little story on 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua. Like and subscribe for more incredible stories every week.
Police are on the scene of a triple homicide on Long Island. It happened overnight at a home in Hempstead.
I'm from Hempstead, Parkside, the ghetto, the dog side, strong, the wrong, they think I'm supposed to run.